Hey everyone, how are we doing? How's everybody? How are all my little pog champs? how are you all? How's it going? I just had a really weird YouTube ad. Yeah, I just had a really weird YouTube ad. And a lot of you have already guessed in chat what's up and what this stream's gonna be about, but I hope I'm not just like the last person on Earth to hear about this, but if I am, oh well. I'm just very curious about this thing I just got an ad for. It's very weird, very bizarre, and I mean, I kind of think we should just dive in, right? Like, we should just watch it? Okay, let's watch this weird ass fucking thing. Okay, the ad. I'll pause a little bit through it. Let's go. Good start is what you're surely thinking. Already, the whole thing is very, very PragerU.
Before communism, China had a glorious past. What if you could bring it back? Since 2006.
By the way, this is always the way, like, I can't find the exact ad. There are some things missing from this version, but this one's 3 minutes, and the one I watched was 3.5 minutes, so it's, like, nearly the same, but yeah.
Shen Yun has been reviving the essence of Chinese civilization, deeply rooted in ancient values like compassion, honesty, and faith. Yet,
I gotta say, I just love how much the narrator just purely sounds like Dennis Prager. Like, it purely just sounds like a PragerU video.
decades of
Oh, and I also have to say, what is conspicuously missing from this edit, right? Half a minute missing from this version as opposed to the ad, was that in the ad there were audience testimonials. So if you don't know what that means, it's when the people who've tried the product tell you how cool it is, and and something that was quite conspicuous about the audience testimonials in the full length ad was that they were all white. They were all like middle-aged white Americans, all being like, "You have to see this. This is so important." And like, what else was there? There was like one of the chyrons down the bottom, like saying who the people were who are talking to you. Said that one of the guys was just like a business owner, and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm shocked to see this white middle-aged American business owner is like warning me against communism. Oh god, there's so much. Okay, let's right, then there's more of this, more of how awful China is, blah blah blah,
and violence.
Uh-huh.
Have nearly destroyed a nation's values.
Oh.
Along with its own identity.
Uh-huh.
So how do you revive what has been lost?
How do you revive what's been lost? Dance, of course. Revive it through dance.
At the core of Shen Yun is an ancient art form. Classical Chinese dance.
Look, I'm not going to pretend to be a dance expert, but what I feel like is shown throughout these clips while this old guy is talking is largely just ballet. Like, I'm not a dance expert. I'm certainly no Chinese, classical Chinese dance expert. But a lot of this that is being shown, these jumps, that's just ballet, man. That's just fucking ballet. If I'm super wrong about this and it turns out like ballet is from China or something, I don't even fucking know what to say.
Chinese dance.
There's the classical Chinese dance.
In classical Chinese dance, movement begins with
This guy sounds like he's selling me like a books on tape, like self-improvement learning course,
This
right?
characteristic makes classical Chinese dance
Classical
richly
Chinese
expressive
dance.
and unparalleled in storytelling.
If you buy our 16-part books on tape about classical Chinese dance.
Shen Yun's original music blends East and West,
Oh, East and West.
and we preserve traditional techniques throughout our production.
Shen Yun is a US-based
Our artists
troupe, just
follow
if
the
it wasn't
principles
clear.
of truth, compassion, and tolerance. This brings a greater depth to our art.
The dancing's pretty rad? Sure, yeah. 7
Every
payments
year,
of
Shen Yun
£19.99,
premieres a
yeah.
completely new production
Exactly.
with new stories, new
Leave
costumes,
Tony, thank you for subscribing.
new
Everybody, please remember, if you're enjoying the stream, consider paying for the stream. You, viewer. You there. Hello. You. I'll tap in time on the microphone so it sounds like sounds really realistic. Hello? Hello? Pay me. Hello? Pay me. Consider paying for the stream if you're enjoying the stream.
music, and new choreography.
Look at all that. Wow.
This
Wow.
undertaking is only possible
Wow.
with the devotion of each and every artist.
Wow.
For in our hearts is a mission greater than us all. Join us to reclaim the beauty, wisdom, humor, and drama of 5,000 years.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's interesting. So that's another difference from the ad. The ad gave us this screen again at the end, right? Like, oh no, probably more importantly, it was like a full splash screen for Shen Yun, but it was like Shen Yun, and then like as the tagline, it was like China before communism. So is this like the grandchildren of rich people who fled communism doing the evil communists stole my grandparents' slaves, but in the medium of dance? No, not exactly. Like, it's... we'll get into it. It's something similar. I got a flyer that said, see China before communism? That's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. This shit is fucking wild. Oh my god. Hey Sophie, is this an ad for the Chinese anti-miscegenation cult? I had not heard their anti-miscegenation. We will look into that as well. I thought this was interesting. So I just got this ad, or like an edited version with, like I said, a little more to it, because there was like an extra half a minute of like pink-faced gammon people being like, yes, this is very important. You have to learn about China and how good it was before all the communists ruin it. That's not in this version that I just showed you, this one, but the rest was almost entirely the same. I did enjoy this, but I just want to see this bit again about communism. Here it is.
Yet decades of destruction.
Look at all those oppressed people holding up the book. Look at them reading. You'd never see a crowd of people. You'd never see a crowd of people in America holding up a book. You can tell they're oppressed because the government makes them all read a book. In America, we're proud to say we can't even read. These people, like, a whole bunch of them are smiling. They love this book. I don't know. I'm not gonna go into a whole pro-China rant, Sophie from Mars tanky arc here. I'm just saying this is some of the silliest shit I've ever fucking seen. The rabbit hole will include criticisms of the Chinese government, just in case you're a whito in the Imperial Corps sitting there at home going, oh, but what if she doesn't say the Chinese government is bad? I will. I'll say it now. The Chinese government is bad. I'm an anarchist. I don't support any governments. But this. Not it, Chief. See that television? Such oppression. Yeah. So what do we got? So naturally enough, I was like, okay, Shen Yun. Let's learn about Shen Yun. What is Shen Yun? Shen Yun is a United States-based non-profit performing arts and entertainment company that tours internationally, producing dance performances and symphony concerts. It is operated by the Falun Gong New Religious Movement. Okay, so it is operated by a religious movement. Interesting. Let's learn about the Falun Gong religious movement, shall we? Already a good sign. Already going well. Falun Gong is a new religious movement. Falun Gong was founded by its leader Li Hongzhi in China in the early 1990s. Falun Gong has its global headquarters in Dragon Springs, a 400-acre compound around Cuddebackville? Cuddebackville. I thought it was Cuddlebackville. Oh, man. Cuddebackville in Deer Park, New York, near the current residence of Li Hongzhi, Falun Gong's performance arts extension, Shen Yun, and two closely connected schools, Faiqian College and Faiqian Academy of the Arts, also operate in and around Dragon Springs. So it's already pretty interesting. I think, like, one of the number one things I would immediately point to in this Wikipedia article, which I think is pretty interesting, is that Shen Yun isn't just like some small part of Falun Gong, some tiny little thing that happens to be operated by the new religious movement Falun Gong. Like it's the first subdivision of the religion that is mentioned, you know? Like, if there was a Wikipedia article that was about Mormonism, and then they were like, the like second sentence of the Wikipedia article was like, jump humping is, you'd be like, whoa, jump humping is a pretty important part of Mormonism. If you don't know, don't look it up. I'm saving you from knowledge right now. Falun Gong emerged toward the end of China's Qigong. Is it Qigong or Qigong? I think it's Qigong. Qi? Qi? Okay. Qigong boom, a period that saw a proliferation of smaller practices of meditation, slow-moving energy exercises, and regulated breathing. Falun Gong combines meditation and Qigong exercises with a moral philosophy. The practice emphasizes morality. That's good. I also emphasize morality. I'm a fan of being ethical. And the cultivation of virtue. Virtue ethics. Shit, man. I hate virtue ethics. All my homies hate virtue ethics, and identifies as a practice of the Buddhist school, though its teachings also incorporate elements drawn from Taoist traditions. Through moral rectitude and the practice of meditation, practitioners of Falun Gong aspire to eliminate attachments and ultimately to achieve spiritual enlightenment. The practice initially enjoyed support from the Chinese Communist Party officials, but by the mid to late 90s, the government increasingly viewed Falun Gong as a potential threat due to its size, independence, and spiritual teachings. By 1999, government estimates placed the number of Falun Gong practitioners at 70 million. Okay. So, right, this will be relevant. 20th of July 1999, the CCP leadership initiated a nationwide crackdown and multifaceted propaganda campaign directed against the practice. It blocked internet access to websites that mentioned Falun Gong, and in October 1999, it declared Falun Gong a heretical organization that threatened social stability. Falun Gong practitioners in China are reportedly subject to a wide range of human rights abuses. Hundreds of thousands are estimated to have been imprisoned extrajudicially, and practitioners in detention are subject to forced labor, psychiatric abuse, torture, and other coercive methods of thought reform at the hands of Chinese authorities. As of 2009, human rights groups estimated that at least 2,000 Falun Gong practitioners had died within China as a result of abuse in custody. The Chinese government is bad. Don't kill people with your regime. this is exactly why I'm an anarchist. Even governments who you could argue do a lot of good shit compared to other governments, or have fit in with an intellectual tradition, or at least claim nominally to fit into it, right? Do shit like this. However, what is the deal between Falun Gong and the Chinese government? This is what I'm kind of interested in here, right? Because it's very obvious from Shen Yun that they're going round to tell everyone how evil communism is. And with Falun Gong being headquartered in the United States and Shen Yun being headquartered in the United States, it's kind of like, how much at this point is it just like a fleeing evil China? The CCP is threatened by Winnie the Pooh, so this is not surprising, sadly. Yeah, right, okay. Back to this. This is important. Falun Gong administers a variety of extensions in the United States and elsewhere which have received notable media attention for their political involvement and ideological messaging, particularly since the involvement of these extensions in the 2016 United States presidential election. Falun Gong extensions include the Epoch Times, a politically far-right media entity that has received significant attention for promoting conspiracy theories such as QAnon and anti-vaccine misinformation, and producing advertisements for former US President Donald Trump. Shen Yun has also received significant media coverage for its emphasis on, for example, anti-evolution statements and promotion of Falun Gong doctrine, while presenting itself as founded upon ancient tradition. So this is pretty interesting. This is where we start to get to, like, okay, so they've been persecuted, and I'm not going to dispute that they've been persecuted by the Chinese government, but you don't have to be anti-vaccine, pro-QAnon, and anti-evolution. And I'm not saying that makes it okay to be persecuted by a government either. I am saying it feels like a lot of the reporting, including on Wikipedia here, fits kind of neatly into the Falun Gong narrative that they are just a kooky little bunch of guys who didn't do anything. They're just a little guy, just a little birthday boy, who've been persecuted for no reason. And see, one thing is I'm kind of compound. It's the compound that really gets me. It's the compound that's really setting off my spidey sense. Do you know what I mean? The Dragon Springs compound. I'm like, is having a compound a necessary part of a growing religion? Did every religion have a compound at some point? Did Jesus have a compound? Maybe he had a compound. Who knows? Maybe he had a compound. And then we get to the reception part of the Shen Yun, of the article about Shen Yun. Okay, and then things start to get pretty interesting. My Sophie sense, there we go. I want a compound. You could get a compound, Casey. You could get a compound. Go for it, Queen. You should just do that. Okay, 2018 and 2019 performances included lyrics and digital displays disparaging atheism and belief in evolution. Well, okay, disparaging atheism. They are a religious movement, so, well. But belief in evolution as deadly ideas, born of the red spectre. Oh, baby. I have to wonder, at what point did they start saying evolution is a deadly idea? Okay, I'm getting the sense, but I don't want to get ahead of myself with the rabbit hole here, because we'll get into more of what we see later on. But I'm getting the sense that they went out of China, and particularly went to America, because America loves to just gobble up anything that's coming out of China, and we hate China, and we hate the Chinese government, and that's when they became so I guess it's their conflict with the Chinese government that's introduced all of the, like, anti-communist, anti-Chinese government elements to Falun Gong and Shen Yun, right? Right? That's the sense I'm getting. My question is, when did atheism and evolution become an issue for them? Because do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, because, like, if they were persecuted for spreading a religion, that sucks. Don't persecute people for spreading a religion. Let people believe what they want to believe. If they were telling everyone that evolution is a deadly idea born of the Red Spectre, and then the Chinese government was like, stop it. The Chinese government has clearly engaged historically and continues to engage in horrifying forms of policing and imprisonment, and what it does to political prisoners is quite awful. Not uniquely awful, but quite awful. But do you get what I'm saying? If you're going around telling people not to believe in evolution, what is to be done? Hey, sweetie, what you doing?
My Red Planet homework.
Your Red Planet homework?
From last week.
Getting involved in an action?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You're not just hiding from me?
No.
You're hiding from my stream? Nat hates when I talk about shit I don't know, and we're doing a rabbit hole learning about something episode.
Hey, you got me. I feel stressed when I don't understand the subject very well.
Well, that makes me feel really nervous now. And now I feel really nervous because she's hiding up there because I don't know about this thing. And so now I'm like, well, that's a red flag, right? Do you think I'm doing a bad job?
Nah, I did want to do the homework. I want to invite Miriam as well. But...
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Aphn Dragon says, y'all are both adorable. Thank you. Earth is 6,000 years old, don't you know? Oh, thank you for clearing that up for me. Here we go. Right. Here are some quotes from people who saw it. We paid a premium for seats that would provide us an excellent view of an excellent view of Chinese tradition. I can't believe you buy into that shit to begin with, honestly. Like, okay, maybe they didn't get the ad that was like China before communism, but whatever. Instead, we contributed unwittingly to a religious movement that denies evolution and science, claims the earth was inhabited by aliens, demonizes atheists and homosexuals, and condemns mixed marriages. Chat, you called it. It is anti-miscegenation as well. Fantastic. This is fantastic. I don't want to sound like guy who's only seen Boss Baby, but I am getting big Scientology vibes from Shen Yun, and because of specifics, right? Because of aliens, like give all your money to the cults, they're anti-homosexuality, atheism, communism, mixed marriages. It's just like hitting a lot of the same notes actually of Scientology. I didn't get the China before communism ad last year. It was just people dancing. Oh, that's interesting. So they're like stepping it up. That's fun. As of April 2019, here we go. That's it. Right. April 2019. Disparagement of atheism and evolution was still present in the show. Misrepresentation of content in advertising was also a common complaint by viewers, and Falun Gong affiliated political propaganda has been noted as a prominent element. Here we go. An outstanding case is described by Gia Tolentino from The New Yorker. Chairman Mao appeared, and the sky turned black. The city in the digital backdrop was obliterated by an earthquake, then finished off by a communist tsunami. I want to see a communist tsunami. Oh, man. Shit. Oh, fucking... I'm going to see if I can see the communist tsunami. I'm just really, like... I want to see the communist tsunami, you know? Do they have it? Is it anywhere? I'm just clicking around. I feel nervous to, Google image search on like while like live on stream, so I'm just looking while you guys can't see. I can't see the communist tsunami anywhere. I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah, I got nothing here. No communist tsunami. I'm sorry. Is it like a big red wave? Like what? Anyway, tsunami. A red hammer and sickle glowed in the center of the wave. Oh, fuck, yeah, it is. A huge bearded face disappearing in the water. A tsunami with the face of Karl Marx. Oh, this fucking rocks. Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is so fucking good. Honestly, that sounds rad as hell. I completely agree. Let's see it. Let's fucking see it. Let's see. I want a tsunami with the face of Karl Marx to come and wash away the UK. Just fucking sink us. Garbage island. David Robertson, minister of St. Peter's Free Church in Dundee, wrote that he enjoyed the show despite it being filled with cult messages. Okay, he liked it despite it being full. Did he enjoy just the dancing? I don't know. Some of the messages were hardly subtle, not least when the colourful Falun Gong practitioners in the park were beaten up by the black-clad villains with the Chinese communist symbols on their back, or when a massive digital wave with an ominous picture of Karl Marx threatened to overwhelm the city until the light, in the form of Li Hongzhi, the Falun Gong leader, that's the founder of Falun Gong, dispersed it and destroyed him. Wow! As soon as it started, with everything inch perfect and the fake fixed smiles on every dancer and the constant spiritual waffle about truthfulness, harmony, compassion, and forbearance, I knew that we were in the presence of a religious cult, and so it turned out to be. Incredible. I love that. That's so good. That's so fucking good. Li Hongzhi comes and, like, kills the Karl Marx tsunami? Damn, I'm just giving free advertising for this show right now, aren't I? I'm just showing off how fucking rad this show must be to watch, honestly. Okay. I next wanted to highlight an article I found when I googled this, which is called "The Traditional Chinese Dance Troupe China Doesn't Want You to See." And I guess this is where I'm getting into the like, why it was... what I was trying to get at earlier, right? It's like the Chinese government does bad stuff, like all governments. Some stuff really stomach-churningly bad, like many governments. However, the reporting just keeps on being like, China is communist and evil. And even the stuff that is like the range of reporting is between, China is communist and therefore evil, and these guys are good because they don't like them, and China is communist and evil, and also this is a cult. And I guess I'm even doing some of it now. I'm like caveating everything and caching it in me saying that like governments are bad and I don't like governments, but I don't think communism is evil and I don't think China is evil. I guess fucking online has just trained my awful broken brain to need to defend the position that I don't think that like mass imprisonment, torture and like authoritarian measures are like okay. Like I have to insist to people that I don't support every policy the Chinese government has given if I'm going to mention the Chinese government. Isn't the political sphere online delightful? Isn't it such a wonderful rational place? Good lord. Okay. The traditional Chinese dance troupe China Doesn't Want You to See. Shen Yun seems like a kitsch dance troupe, but Beijing sees it as the propaganda wing of the Falun Gong movement and a threat to their rule, and hounds the dancers from city to city, trying to sabotage their shows.
But it is the propaganda wing of the Falun Gong movement.
This is so good.
It is, though.
It's literally that. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what the fuck it is. That's precisely what it is, Nicholas Hune Brown. That's exactly what the fuck it is, actually. What the fuck? This is so good. This is so fucking good. These people are wild. Like, Western media, what the fuck, honestly? I just... we were saying this, like, Twitter has started putting like Chinese state-affiliated media or like Russian state-affiliated media onto like people's Twitter bios. like to mark out when you can't trust them because they're affiliated with an organization. They only do that to America when it's like literally Joe Biden. It's like US government official Joe Biden. But if it's like the New Yorker, the Washington Post, or fucking The Guardian, right? It's not like US affiliated media, UK affiliated media. It's just like it's just neutral. It's just is its own reporting. I don't know. This is so fucking wild to have like the traditional Chinese dance troupe China doesn't want you to see from The Guardian, and just a perfect example of how we view like papers like The Guardian as being just neutral because they aren't like the literal direct propaganda wing of a government, but like at the same time, in capitalist countries, that's how it works. You have a private business that is the propaganda wing of a government. Oh my god. All right, let's catch up with chat a little bit. Please don't just pick fights and chat with people. Like you guys are agreeing with each other. Don't like, don't start fights over what like pick like you're having a semantic argument. I mean, young Freud and just a random fry. Chill out. You agree with each other. Calm down. China isn't communist either? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another whole part to this entire thing, is like all of this is attacking on the basis of the idea that China is communist. It's literally not communist. It is one of the biggest single economy in global capitalism. Like okay. Continuing the tradition of right-wing folks making communism seem awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of have a feeling that they might actually believe the Japanese tsunami was created by the communists. Shen Yun bootlegs would be so interesting to watch. That's true. That is entirely true. I wonder if I can watch Shen Yun anywhere. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to see the tsunami, you know? I don't want to watch the whole fucking thing. It'll be really boring. But I do want to see that tsunami. I do want to see that tsunami. Love to have communist billionaires. Yeah, China has more billionaires than anywhere else in the world, right? Which makes sense because they've got more people than, but like, do they have the most people or does India have the most people?
China has the most, and then it's India.
That's what I thought. Okay. But yeah, it's like fucking... I just want a clip of the red tsunami of Karl Marx. That is true. You're right, young Freud. That's exactly what I want. I just desperately want to see the Karl Marx tsunami be destroyed by the hero Li Hongzhi. Does he like descend from the heavens? Is he like fucking Goku? What does he do? Like I'm so fascinated. Okay, let's go back over. Am I no longer stressing you out? Are you not stressed by my stream anymore?
I'm fine. I did just have something I wanted to do.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. Sounds fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't stress anymore?
No.
You don't think it's a bad stream?
No.
Are you sure?
Sounds like a fun stream.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as nobody's picking fights in the comments.
Stop fighting. Stop it.
Can they even hear me?
I don't know if they can hear you, actually. That's my Discord. Why do I have a notification right now? Oh, I see. It's just a stream notification. That's fine. Back to it. If you live in a major city in the Western Hemisphere, you've probably seen the image. A Chinese woman floating through the air, dress billowing out behind her with the caption, Shen Yun, art that connects heaven and earth. Shen Yun ad. Right, there it is. There it is, right? Art that connects heaven... Oh, no, that doesn't say art that connects heaven and earth. That says China before communism. That doesn't say art that connects heaven. That says 5,000 years of civilization reborn, which is the same line, just slightly, the same marketing direction. Just that says China before communism. China before communism. No tagline there. 5,000 Years of Civilization Reborn. 5,000 Years. A must-see. It's a must-see, apparently. China Before Communism. China Before Communism. A must-see. 5,000 Years of Civilization. Reviving it, because of course it's dead is the thing. You can't experience any Chinese culture in China now because of all the communism. China Before Communism. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? Actually, the most common tagline you see if you if you search for it is China Before Communism. Very interesting. Anyway, what's funny is that Falun Gong was super favored by the government in the 90s during a push for traditional Chinese culture, but they said a few too many crazy things, the government stopped supporting them, and that's when they became anti-communists. Thank you for clarifying that, Delia Core. That's exactly the impression I've been getting, that they were just like China thought they were really neat because, yeah, and then it turned around on them because of all the batshit insane stuff they say, all like the anti-evolution stuff, and yeah, okay. Art that connects heaven and earth. The adverts are for a company based in upstate New York that presents spectacles of Chinese traditional dance, in which a large cast performs intricate synchronized routines to the pop Eastern sounds of a live orchestra. Each year, Shen Yun's ads spring up across the world in advance of the company's touring season, from banners hanging from street lamps in Brussels to billboards looming over Los Angeles freeways. The company has 5 separate touring troupes that carry out a dizzying schedule, a kind of, well, yeah, of course they do, because they're in a fucking cult. It's really easy to meet a really crazy schedule no one else is going to meet if you're a fucking cult. Cirque du Soleil of the East, backed up. Well, they're not of the East, are they? They're based in fucking New York. Why are you lying? Backed by a seemingly bottomless publicity budget. Yes, because they probably don't pay their dancers. They have played the Lincoln Center in New York and the London Coliseum. In a single week last spring, they hit Philadelphia, Honolulu, Charlotte, Kansas City, and Huntsville, Alabama. Then Barcelona, Salzburg, Bremen, Baden-Baden, and Paris. As a troupe whose influence stretches all the way from Bogota in Colombia to towns in Kentucky, that have surely never before seen 40 Asian people in the same week. Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. I love the Guardian so much. I love the Guardians so fucking much. I love racism, and I love stereotypes, and fucking Nicholas Hune Brown. Fuck off. That's the thing. Nicholas Hune Brown. Let alone 40 Asian people in the same theater. Shen Yun is astonishingly far-reaching. It's difficult to imagine a group that has done more to bring Chinese art to unlikely corners of the world. Yeah, okay. Well, that's all leading up to the pivot, so let's go into the pivot. Sorry, I've got that stuff so small so far. I haven't been thinking about how it looks on screen for stream. I don't usually do a lot of like reading text on streams. According to the Chinese government, however, Shen Yun is the singing, dancing face of Falun Gong. That is true. Which the government describes as a malevolent anti-society cult that leads its followers to self-mutilation, suicide, and murder. In a 2012 statement, the Chinese embassy in Washington issued a warning to Americans who might have been swayed by the posters appearing around town. They have been staging the so-called Shen Yun performances in the US in recent years in the name of promoting Chinese culture and showcasing the Oriental charm, the statement reads. But in fact, in addition to their tacky taste and low artistic standards, oh, fucking roast them! Get their asses! The performances were filled with cult messages and implied attacks against the Chinese government. Wherever Shen Yun goes, the Chinese government follows. In Ecuador and Ireland, Berlin and Stockholm, theaters and local governments have reported receiving letters or visits from Chinese embassies attempting to shut down the dance show. I'm sorry, is that crazy? Is that too much? Like, it's a, like, if the sole reason is because they are spreading propaganda that's against your government, that's one thing. They are spreading propaganda for people to join their cult, which is anti-science, like anti-evolution, anti-homosexuality, anti-miscegenation, and claims to represent your country. So then I'm like, okay, fucking hell. This is so much. I love The Guardian. What a bastion of integrity and good journalism. Okay. In February 2014, Jörg Seefeld, the event manager of the State Theater of Potsdamer Platz in Berlin, where that should be one, where a Shen Yun performance was scheduled, received a visit from the Chinese embassy's cultural attaché, who tried to influence things. Seefeld refused, and the show continued. Okay, so that's fine then, right? That's okay. Like a guy came around and was like, "Hey, this is a cult. You probably shouldn't." and he was like, "No, I care about free speech." I am from East Germany, he told the Berliner Zeitung. With the Chinese, it is like it used to be with our rulers. They are simply scared. Oh, wow. I feel like you have a healthy mind, my guy, that is not ruined with brainworms. Shen Yun reports a catalog of more insidious attempts to silence the group. Prior to their shows at the Tennessee Performing Arts Center in Nashville last year, how many Asian people a week does Nashville see? Nicholas Hune Brown? Hey, Nicholas Hune Brown, how many Asian people a week are there in Nashville? Do you have the figures? It's Tennessee, so I assume that you assume you're fucking from Toronto, you son of a bitch. Fuck you, Nicholas. Fucking hell. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really getting derailed. Okay. The group says that the car tires of the show's presenters were slashed. Wow. Well, if that's true, wow. In 2015 in Chicago, someone allegedly tampered with a truck covered in Shen Yun ads, pouring corrosive chemicals over the brake and accelerator pedals. Right. Okay. So that they couldn't drive around, so they couldn't perform. See, I had heard... So when I was doing a little bit of research about this before, I heard it as, like, sabotaging the brakes, which is a way different thing. I'm not saying like if the Chinese government is going and like slashing their tires and like melting their pedals in their van, that's okay. I'm just saying it's a different thing to like cutting the brakes. The troop says that Chinese spies photograph their movements and listen in on their phone calls. They report suspicious break-ins in which the only items missing are passports and laptops. It's easy to dismiss Shen Yun as a campy curiosity. I don't dismiss them as a campy curiosity. I think they're a dangerous cult. But Falun Gong practitioners have become some of the most outspoken opponents of the Beijing government, and so a kitschy dance show has become a preoccupation for the Chinese government, one of the battlegrounds on which the fight for the hearts and minds of Westerners and overseas Chinese will be won, one ribbon dance at a time. Nicholas Hune Brown. Nicholas. Fucking hell. He has 2 articles about ball pits and one article about Shen Yun and another one about organ donations. Okay. On a chilly January night in Toronto a couple of years ago, I brought my mother and girlfriend to a Shen Yun performance at the Sony Center for Performing Arts, a 3,000-seat theater that generally hosts traveling orchestras and Josh Groban concerts. I had invited my mother along because I thought she might be interested in this particular take on Chinese culture. Her mother, Ga Yin Hyun. Oh, I see where this is all coming from now. I see. I still don't think he has the figures on how many fucking Asians a week go through these Kentucky towns. I still think that's an absolutely fucked thing to say. Was a Chinese opera singer who came to Canada in the 1930s as part of a traveling show designed to bring Eastern art to the people of North America, particularly to the immigrants working in Chinatowns across the continent. The show began with the sound of a gong as the curtain rose on a wall of dry ice that slowly dispersed to reveal dozens of dancers of brightly colored flowing costumes. I don't want to read his whole description of the show. I don't. Is he in Falun Gong? Like, why he's so into this? Is such a long fucking. I guess it's just he hates. I guess he's just determined to spread anti-communist sentiment. It's not really. You don't have to be in the cult. You don't have to be in the cult to work here. But it helps. That's a big sign that hangs over the door to the Guardian offices. Do they mean Falun Gong? Do they mean the TERFs? Make up your own mind, really. Jesus Christ. Okay. But didn't he see the tsunami marks? Did they just miss? Let's see. Okay, I can take requests. I can take requests here. Tsunami. No tsunami. No tsunami. Oh my god. I'm trying not to derail here, but now the Guardian is suggesting me this article. Oh god, no, I'm not doing it. No, okay. No tsunami. No tsunami. Marx? Is there Marx? He doesn't mention Marx. He talks about communism a bunch. Okay, so he describes the performance, and he's talking about the communist thugs began beating people up, clubbing and kicking innocent Falun Gong followers. Firstly, yes, they are innocent in the show. Secondly, the communist thugs. Yes, in the show. Oh my god. Water, wave? Yeah, you're right. I'll check for those. Wave. Water. Nah, nothing. Alright. Oh, Nicholas Hune Brown. Okay, so this is a Philip DeFranco video, Rogue Rocket. I haven't been keeping up with Philip DeFranco. I don't know if this is, I don't really know anything about this thing he does. If you guys know something about it, you can let me know, but don't judge me for this video. I just searched Shen Yun to try and find out what this was, and I saw the thumbnail, is Shen Yun a cult? And I was like, oh shit, let's go. This seems pretty interesting. Let's watch it.
Hello, welcome back to Rogue Rocket. My name is Philip DeFranco, and today we're going to be talking about something that you've probably seen, but didn't realize what it was. Have you ever seen an ad for something called Shen Yun? Like, do you recognize this billboard? Do you recognize this ad on the side of a bus? Maybe you've seen one inside of a train, or again on this billboard. Right, and the point is that these ads seem to be literally everywhere, and they've become so widespread that the internet's even turned them into memes. You've got classics like a Shen Yun ad captured by the Mars rover, or there's the fan theory that the unseen force in Bird Box was actually Shen Yun advertisements. And of course, who could forget this alternate scene from The Lion King?
How can I go back? I'm not who I used to be.
I'm not sure of the integrity of his content. Well, I mean, let's watch it and find out, right?
Remember who you are. You are my son, and the one true king. Remember.
Full disclosure, that one was made by our editors. We have to have them have fun every now and then. Also, no, to answer the question that may be in your head, this is not a story about memes. Rather, it's about how Shen Yun and their parent organization, the Falun Gongs, clash with China. And as far as why these two have issues, well, the Chinese government describes Falun Gong as anti-humanity, anti-science, and anti-society cult, and a cancer in the body of the modern and civilized society. And Shen Yun, on the other hand, says that since the Chinese Communist Party is officially an atheist regime, it is afraid of the freedom of expression this arts company enjoys in the West. It also claims that the Chinese government has infiltrated Chinese student associations in the...
Okay, let me just run that one again.
On the other hand, says that since the Chinese Communist Party is officially an atheist regime, it is afraid of...
Okay, hang on a second. Shen Yun Performing Arts was established by Falun Dafa practitioners in 2006. The company's mission is to use performing arts to revive the essence of Chinese culture, traditionally considered a divinely inspired civilization. Since the CCP is officially an atheist regime, it is afraid of the freedom of expression this arts company enjoys in the West. Wow. What a juicy piece of bait, right? What a juicy piece of bait for Western brain poisoned conservatives, right? Just like they're afraid of how much freedom you have in America.
The freedom of expression this arts company enjoys in the West. It also claims that the Chinese government has infiltrated Chinese student associations in the United States to push anti-Shen Yun and anti-Falun Gong agendas. And the Falun Gong itself claims that it is persecuted in China, saying in fact that the government has imprisoned its members and harvested their organs. So, on that note, to go down this rabbit hole to figure out the reality of these strong claims, we had Dylan Siegel from the Rogue Rocket team jump into it.
Shen Yun is a traveling dance and orchestral troupe whose goal is to revive the lost world of traditional Chinese culture and share it with everyone. In Chinese, the two characters for Shen Yun mean something like divine rhyme, which the group loosely translates as the beauty of divine beings dancing. Shen Yun incorporates a new performance each year.
I'm encountering an issue at this point, where the section where it goes to what Dylan has to say it just begins like...
Falun Gong agendas, and the Falun Gong itself claims that
Hang
it is
on, I should
persecuted
change this.
in China,
I'm
saying
gonna
in
just turn the
fact the
volume.
government has imprisoned its members
Why
and
is the volume
harvested
so low?
their organs. So, on that
There
note,
it
to
is.
go down this rabbit hole to figure out the reality of these strong claims, we had Dylan Siegel from the Rogue Rocket team jump into it.
Shen Yun is a traveling dance and orchestral troupe whose goal is to revive the lost world of traditional Chinese culture and share it with everyone. In China,
Okay, so so from everything we've read so far, chat, is Shen Yun's goal to revive the lost world of traditional Chinese culture and share it with everyone? Chat, what do you think? Chat, do you think that's Shen Yun's goal? Because I think that that's what Shen Yun describes its goal as. You can say I'm nitpicking. I will not be hurt. Yes, I am often very fragile. Today I will not be. If you think I'm just nitpicking here, but I don't think, I just think that there's like a burden of responsibility on journalists to not say things like, as a statement, Shen Yun is a dance troupe whose goal is to revive the lost world of Chinese culture and share it with everyone. If like that statement, where are we there? That statement, right? That statement literally comes from them. You say this is what they say is their goal. Yes, if by traditional Chinese culture you mean Falun Gong, so no. Yeah.
Chinese, the two characters for Shen Yun mean something like divine rhyme, which the group loosely translates as the beauty of divine beings dancing. Shen Yun incorporates a new performance each
I'm
year
gonna get the characters for Falun Gong tattooed on my body and then tell everyone it means dick girl.
that includes dance, costumes, backgrounds, singing, and music. In their own words, Shen Yun weaves a wondrous tapestry of heavenly realms, ancient legends, and modern heroic tales, taking you on a journey through 5,000 years of Chinese culture. And the
See, that there he said in their own words, and that's fine. That's fine.
performances have sparked testimonials like this.
I see God. I see the Spirit.
This is from this is the full one. That's from the full ad. That's from the full ad, right?
Sparked
Middle-aged white
testimonials
people.
like this.
American
I
white
see
people.
God.
I see God. Look at that is a normal face. This is a normal face, and I see God is a normal thing to be saying. I see God when you've just seen a normal dance performance.
I see the spirit of love and peace and the way that you would want the universe to be.
The group has been very successful, touring as wide as New York's
Who is she again? Susan Silvestri, author and dancer. Oh, she's an author. Oh, baby. See, the really, really good shit is when someone's an author, like when it's just like testimony, they just get a testimonial from like Alan Tomlinson, and you're just like, I don't know who that is. That's nothing to me. You can't necessarily be like, why has this person been picked for a testimonial? but then, wait a second. Is one of the first pictures of her in Google Images is her on the Epoch Times, the Falun Gong associated news site, giving her testimonial promoting Shen Yun. What the fuck? Oh, this is so good. Oh, this fucking rocks. Who is she? Okay, she's a speaker. What does she speak about? Free to be. Invites you to hear God's voice in interesting and creative ways, to come into an understanding of the fullness of who you were created to be and the purposes He has for your life. Inspiration, activation, and celebration. Okay, so she's a religious grifter. Great. Fantastic. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Now I understand. Fantastic. Susan has a Master of Ministry in... Master of Ministry? A Master of Ministry in Fine Arts. What is that? So it's a combined theological degree. Incredible. Susan is the founder of the Women of Worth dance company, which uses the art of professional dance to depict messages of God's heart for social justice and personal value in a powerful way. Oh, I love this. I love that she's the person featured. So good. So very good. Books. Holy fit. Holy fit. Holy free. Creating a lifestyle of health and freedom. A lot of religious grifters are not super harmful. I'm not saying Susan Silvestri must be super harmful. I'm just saying that she is a religious grifter. She clearly is. She's not, she's hardly an impartial source. But goodness gracious me. Although, that said, if anyone happens to know more and her dance company turns out to also be a cult, I would love to hear that. Please let me know. Fantastic. This is already so good. Okay, let's carry on.
I see the spirit of love and peace and the way that you would want the universe to be.
The group has been very successful, touring as wide as New York's Lincoln Center and Taiwan's National Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall, all the while reaping significant profits in recent years. But Shen Yun's origins and a couple
Well, profits is really all that matters, so I'm glad that they cleared that up for me. I was worried for a minute that they weren't making significant profits doing this.
Key acts during the performance seem to point to a distinct agenda. Or as Cassie H. from San Mateo, California said on Yelp, do not go to see Shen Yun. Nothing but propaganda and a ripoff. The performances not only showcase dance and music, but often have a distinctly anti-Chinese government, anti-communist angle to them. In one show, there was a scene where the faces of Chairman Mao and Karl Marx are menacingly included as the backdrop to a dark atmosphere. And in another...
Aw, come on, man. Come on. Dylan, was he called Dylan? Was that what he was called? Come on. Tell us how they were included. Don't just say Karl Marx's face was included. How was it included, Dylan? Come on, man. Come on. Tell me. Come on. What do you mean by that? How was it included?
Young students read Falun Gong books and meditate, only to have what appear to be communist grunts beat up the students. The scene ends with a woman raising a banner with 3 Chinese characters on them. It's no coincidence that those 3 characters are the Falun Gong's motto: truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. But Shen Yun's ties to Falun Gong go beyond just a banner in the show. Regional Falun Gong associations organize Shen Yun performances in each city. That means raising funds, helping with publicity, and other logistics. And according to The Guardian, the leader of Falun Gong, Li Hongzhi, explained exactly how the current dance troupe came to be. There was a group of disciples involved in the arts who wished to use their professional skills to expose the persecution and save sentient beings. After believing that the show could use improvement, Li stepped in to lead the group, and thus Shen Yun was born. So what is Falun Gong?
Falun Dafa, also known as Falun Gong,
Oh my god, we're getting an ad in the middle of this? Come on.
is an advanced self-cultivation practice.
Wait, who is speaking now?
So what is Falun Gong?
Falun Dafa, also known as Falun Gong,
Again, like, say from their website or whatever, you know?
is an advanced self-cultivation practice that improves mental and physical wellness through physical exercises and the development of one's character.
Li introduced his teachings to the public in 1992, and 2 years later, he published Falun Gong's foundational document called Zhuan Falun. But during that same time, the Chinese government had been pushing back on protests and social
I'm disappointed the ad wasn't for Shen Yun. Yeah, yeah, I bet you are.
organizations ever since the Tiananmen Square protests. Even so, Falun Gong's popularity grew throughout the 90s. By 1999, there were around 2 million followers of Falun Gong, according to the US Department of State. That made it one of the largest non-government organizations in post-1949 China, which made the central government nervous. The Communist Party doesn't like having rival organizations. By April 1999,
What is this 5-year-old shit? What is this absolutely explaining to your audience like they are actual fucking babies? Like, if I say, like, do I sound like a conspiracy theorist if I say the US government doesn't like having competitor organizations, right? If I said that about fucking Scientology, right? If I was pointing to any way in which the US government pushed back on, like, QAnon or Scientology or at an earlier time, like Mormonism or evangelical fucking like cash churches. What are they called? Prosperity churches, right? If I was like, because the US government doesn't like having competitors, it's not like the statement is broadly untrue, like exactly, like not exactly. Like you could critique it, but you'd be kind of nitpicking. But why are you saying that? Like, what a silly thing to say.
the conflict between the Chinese government and Falun Gong reached a new height. 10,000 Falun Gong followers gathered in Beijing to protest their treatment, but just 3 months later, the Chinese government outlawed the group. But the story isn't as simple as that. Both the Chinese government and Falun Gong/Shen Yun make serious claims about the other, but those claims are difficult to verify. A big part of that is because, as Gia Tolentino of The New Yorker wrote, the fact that both Falun Gong and the Communist Party communicate via propaganda makes it almost impossible to understand what's really happening.
I wonder who Philip DeFranco's editors will turn to, Dylan, Rogue Rocket, will turn to for an impartial statement. A completely impartial statement.
Non-propaganda.
No propaganda here. No propaganda to be found. About Falun Gong and the Chinese government. I wonder what other sources you would rely on if you were in Philip DeFranco's team and you were like, dang, it's just really hard, just like Gina Tolentino said, because both Falun Gong and the CCP communicate through propaganda. Damn, I just don't know who to trust.
Chinese government has Xinhua News, China Daily, and an entire apparatus dedicated to creating its image. The Falun Gong uses the Epoch Times newspaper and New Tang Dynasty TV as pieces for its agenda. This is corroborated by the Falun Gong's own transcription of a talk that Li gave in New York in 2010. Moreover,
okay, like, can I just say that a government? Okay, once again, have to clarify this because politics online is a nightmare from which I can never awake. No fan of governments, anarchist here. But a government having state-affiliated media in one way or another is not that strange, is it? But a religious movement owning a newspaper, right? Like, when the religious movement takes the step to, like, we are going to own a newspaper to put out far-right propaganda. Hey, Lucid! Thank you so much for the raid! Hey, everyone! How do I catch everybody up? Oh my goodness. Thank you for gifting... wait, no, that wasn't a gift. Lucid just subscribed! Oh shit! Everybody, please remember, if you're enjoying the stream, consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer, donate directly using command tip. I really appreciate that. Oh shit, look at this huge raid. Hey everyone, I'm Sophie from Mars. I'm Sophie from Mars across all platforms. On YouTube, I'm about to start releasing a series called Organizing Interviews, and if I know Lucid's audience well, I hope I do, you guys will be into that, because it's basically a series weekly from this Friday where I'm interviewing different organizers and activists from around the world. Okay, let's be real. It's mostly US and UK. I didn't do that good a job, but like, but they have lots of cool stuff to say, and I'm interviewing them about like what they do, how you can do it as well, or get involved with their stuff. So please subscribe to me on YouTube, and also check out my Patreon, because like all of the interviews will be up there as soon as they're edited, so they'll be there early. But that'll be like weekly for about 6 or 7 weeks. But today on Twitch, I just got given an ad for a thing called Shen Yun. Apparently, lots of people already know about this thing, Shen Yun. I hadn't heard of it before, and it turns out Shen Yun is a dance troupe who are operated by a religious cult who fled China because the Chinese government was persecuting them because they were spreading anti-miscegenation, anti-evolution, and anti-homosexuality shit to everybody. And now they operate with the American far right. If you've seen the news outlet Epoch Times before, I had seen that before, because I'm more of a brainworms political wonk than I am a musical theater enjoyer, I guess. Falun Gong literally own Epoch Times. Thank you so much, Rebel Scout, gifting a sub to tier 1 sub to Wilco93. Wilco93, you now have access to all of my cool, absolutely based emotes. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is my excited about subscribers face. The show, the show Shen Yun is being advertised with the tagline, China before communism, which is just like so exciting to me. And according to reports in the show, a tsunami with Karl Marx's face threatens to destroy a city before the cult leader, Li Hongzhi, destroys the tsunami with his superpowers. I am so excited. We are now watching a Rogue Rocket, Philip DeFranco video about it, and roasting them for being centrist liberals. Let's carry on. One more time, if you're enjoying the stream, consider paying for the stream. Subscribe, cheer, donate directly with command tip. I appreciate it. Also check out patreon.com/Sophie from Mars, or all one word, Sophie from Mars, because that's the center of everything that I do. And let's go.
Shen Yun and Falun Gong's headquarters hardly respond to requests for comments or interviews. Because as Gia Tolentino of The New Yorker wrote, the fact that both Falun Gong and the Communist Party communicate via propaganda makes it almost impossible to understand what's really happening. The Chinese government has Shen Yun.
Right, and that's what I was saying just when you all arrived. Philly D's guy here is like, it's almost impossible to tell. Okay, he's quoting Gia Tolentino, but it's almost impossible to tell what the situation is because the Chinese government and Falun Gong both communicate in propaganda. So who can we possibly turn to for an impartial and objective take on the situation? Let's find out. Elian Kaplan, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Oh shit, Hype Train. Okay, let's go.
News, China Daily, and an entire apparatus dedicated to creating its image. The Falun Gong uses the Epoch Times newspaper and New Tang Dynasty TV as pieces for its agenda. This is corroborated by the Falun Gong's own transcription of a talk that Li gave in New York in 2010. Moreover, Shen Yun and Falun Gong's headquarters hardly respond to requests for comments or interviews. They didn't respond to our request either. So instead of clarity, you get a mix of half-verified, competing claims. And at the
Okay, hang on, I got so much. Oh shit, Hype Train level 2! Yeah, fuck yes! Thank you, Aphan Dragon, for subscribing. Thank you, Nor Binary, for cheering 300 bits. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Grizzly Boar, thank you for subscribing as well. Thank you, Socialist Audiophile, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Just a Random Fry. Just a Random Fry, you now have all my MILF pills, bimbo stickers, girl goo emotes. Oh, shit! CIA Femboy. You have a CIA Femboy emote now as well. DeFranco is better now than he was like 5 years ago, but he is essentially a liberal. He always uncritically reports US state propaganda. On Palestine, he was much better, though. Yeah, I remember, I think, around, like, it was part of my earlier radicalization was when Trump was running, and I was, like, looking to people I formerly trusted, like Philly D, being like, who's to say? It's kind of annoying, all these people calling people Nazis all the time, isn't it? And I was like, no, they're Nazis. I was like, what? Okay, get away from this dude. And he was just being irritatingly and absurdly centrist while people were being hate crimed all over the place. Very cool and normal. He does, I mean, and by that standard, yes, this does seem to have improved a little bit. But there are still some really glaring things. Like I said, let's watch out for who the trustworthy sources are on China. There was a really interesting message. Marty C59 says, they are coming to my town in February. Was going to go to a show, thinking not anymore. I am so glad. That said, if you already bought tickets, maybe you do go and let me know. Like, the thing is, I really want to see the tsunami with Karl Marx's face on it. And if anyone has a clip, I would really love to see that. I would really love if anybody has a clip of that. That sounds fucking amazing. I want to see the Marx tsunami. I want to see Tsunamarx. You know? Come on. Let me see it. Anyway, I'm glad to have warned you off of this. It's not just traditional Chinese culture. This is some weird cult shit. Hello there. Hello there, Ginger Snip Snap. Shen Yun used to show up to my local mall to get everyone to come to their silly show. I even get mailers due to my last name sounding vaguely Asian. Damn. Ugh, that's so frustrating. There were people in chat earlier saying that they get flyers through the door saying, come and see China before communism. It's pretty wild. I've missed some stuff. Milk Cotton, thank you for cheering. 100 bits, it's very cool. Shit, we're already on level 3 of the hype train? This is wild. Lou said, thank you so much for this raid. This is kicking my ass right now. This is so much. I would do a ton of shrooms and then attempt to sneak in with my backstage code. They never changed to see it for free. Oh my god! Imagine, like, tripping, and then you just see the Marx tsunami coming at you. It's just like... Take me in the red wave, Daddy Marx. Cool Wave Sport 20, thank you for subscribing. Oh, for gifting a sub to Anxiety Rich. Okay, alright, let's carry on. Let's go on with more of this. I'm having such a good time. I'm so glad I decided to stream this.
Base level, both groups seem to use varying degrees of truth distortion to communicate, sometimes even with the same facts. Like we mentioned, the Department of State estimated that there were about 2 million followers in China in 1999. But both the Chinese government and Falun Gong estimated that practitioners numbered around 70 million in China. But why? The simplest answer, the Falun Gong would want a high number to show how popular their group was.
Oh shit, a Sam Shrew, thank you for gifting subs to Eldritch Blah, Bonicula Live, Tanuki1029, Datmiga, and Christopher Mino. You all have subs now, and you can use my MILF Pills emotes and my CIA Femboy emote and all the cool shit like that.
The Chinese government would want a high number to show how much of a threat the group was to the country's stability. To state more claims against...
I don't know, man. I'm like, yeah, they would both want to inflate the number if they were if you assume they were both lying. But the thing is, right, what if they weren't both lying? Like, what if they had both done accurate like, okay, let's go back. Sorry. Okay.
Sometimes even with the same facts. Like we mentioned, the Department of State estimated that there were about 2 million followers in China in 1999. But both the Chinese government and Falun Gong estimated that practitioners numbered around 70 million.
The Department of State? Like the US Department of State? Is that what he meant? Did he mean the US Department of State? Because that's just silly. Come on now. Come on now.
In China. But why? The simplest answer, the Falun Gong would want a high number to show how popular their group was. The Chinese government would want a high number to show how much of a threat the group was.
Holy shit, level 5 hype train? Fuck, we're nearing the highest level hype train I've ever had. This is insane. This is so much. This is just so much. This is wild. Jesus, I should reward you all with something. Maybe I'll go scroll Twitter like Lucid does. Maybe I'll just go look at posts after this and rate some tweets for you. That's what you guys like, right? You like when Lucid looks at tweets? Oh my goodness, Angray, thank you for subscribing. Shit, I've missed people now. Gaby Bones, thank you for gifting us up to 6 large cats. Cool username, by the way. Yoke Cheeks, thank you for gifting a sub to Ogors. And Wilco93, thank you for gifting a sub to Ginger Snip Snap. No Binary, thank you for cheering another 300 bits. Oh my goodness, more shit's happening again. Socialist Audiophile, thank you for gifting a sub to OO Redacted OO. Very cool. Thank you, No Binary, for subscribing, and Dia DIY. No, it's Deadly17. I was misreading. Right. Okay.
To the country's stability. To state more claims against the
7% of the Chinese population. Now that's a good way to put it. It probably, yeah. I mean, it's probably not that, right? It's probably not that much. It's probably not that much, right? Or maybe it is. Who fucking knows? I don't fucking know. I just found out about Shen Yun fucking today. Literally just today. Oh, fuck, it's already level... Does that mean it's going to go on to... Wait. Level 5 is the final level. We did it! We did the final level! Those are all the levels of the hype train. I've never completed the hype train before. I'm very excited about this. This is very cool. Thank you all. This is awesome. Lesson Migratory Sloth and Quinn Wilder, thank you for subscribing. I'm going to carry on with the video.
Falun Gong and Shen Yun, the Chinese embassy links out to a website that looks like it's from 2006, simply called facts.org.cn. The site states that the group was banned because it endangered lives, and claims that the organization encourages mutilation, disobeying laws, destruction of families, rooting out disagreement, and not using medicine to heal oneself. While the site appears to embellish its points, some of the claims it makes about Li's teachings do hold up. For example, it points out that Li claims that mankind has been destroyed 81 times, and that he has delayed the explosion of the Earth by 30 years.
Oh, shit. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Am I gonna do a mock tsunami emote? Oh, fuck, that's a good idea. Oh, shit, I absolutely should do that, right? Hey, sweetie, I should do a mock tsunami emote, right?
Yeah.
That would be so fucking cool. Okay, yeah, I should do that. Okay, right. Let's pause on this. I gotta look over some of this stuff. Okay. Doomsday theory. The Earth has been destroyed for 8... Oh, it's been translated. Okay, it's kind of Google Translate-y. For 8 times. Li Hongzhi's speech at the auditorium of State Construction Material Commission. One time I traced it back carefully and found that there have been 81 times when mankind was totally ruined. Human society today is indeed full of all the 10 sins. The 10 sins. Oh, baby. Oh, shit. Hang on a second. Falun Gong. 10 sins? What are the 10 sins? Oh, shit. This is such a wild rabbit hole. This is so good. Teachings of Falun Gong. Okay? 10... No, that's the wrong thing. 10 sins? Damn it. sins. According to eliminating karma, the built-up sins of past and present lives, which often manifest themselves in individuals as ill. Damn it! It's all just a bunch of fucking. It's all just mishmash, isn't it? Right? He's just like slapping whatever shit together. Whatever shit together will go, right? Oh shit! We got the level 5 hype train. That's so cool. Look at all those emotes we got. Oh, that's so fucking rad. Thank you, chat. You're such a good chat. This is so cool. I'm so excited. I'm definitely going to make a mock tsunami emote after this. This is so good. This is just so good. I'll be honest, I've been feeling a bit down in the dumps recently. There's been some stuff going on, and this is this is very exciting. This is really cool. Okay. All right. Let's just pull back from the 10 sins thing. I want to learn about this. Okay. So, human society did all the 10 sins. If man continues to decline, he will face elimination, a thorough elimination, which is called extinction of the body and soul. Falun Fofa, Fa teaching in Sydney. Okay. Please tell everyone around you that the present time is near the point of extinction of the human race. All devils will emerge this time, according to Shakyamuni. So I've been doing a lot of cult and conspiracy research the last year, and now it's kind of building up to a project I'm going to do with like conspiracy on the left. Can we get a ding after each sin? I'm going to do my next video is going to be about conspiracy theories on the left and conspiracy grifters on the left. And I've been doing a lot of reading for the last year of like academic literature to do with conspiracy. And so, you know, this maybe I'm caveating too much what I'm going to say, which is like fairly common knowledge, but a really common type of conspiracy theory is millennialist conspiracies, which are ones that believe that a big doomsday is coming, and you set a date for when it's going to all be destroyed. And this is just exactly that, isn't it? You know, this is just exactly that shit, right? This is one of the things that makes it like really kind of distinct from like a sect forming in a religion, which is just like a sect. They just believe in, you know, Protestants wanted to read the Bible wanted to read the Bible in English, right? That's like, you know, forming sects based on something, and then like a religion splitting in this way, versus what we call cults. Sociologists actually don't use the term cult anymore because of the like negative connotations, but like the other reason they don't use it is because it's kind of hard to say exactly what's a cult. It's the same reason they avoid the term pyramid scheme, because in both cases, if you try and follow it through, you can find that actually capitalism is a pyramid scheme and kind of a cult, but like it's a whole thing. Anyway, but the point is, you know, this is one of the crucial things, right? It's like this doomsday teaching that like only us doing the right shit together can prevent the destruction of the entire world, or save the good people from the destruction of the entire world, right? Is worthwhile. That's why you got that in like Westboro Baptist evangelicals. You got that with QAnon, right? It's like this is what's distinct from like, okay, I guess Mormonism would be a good example, right? Of a group who split and had their own separate teachings, but they didn't teach that like the world was going to be destroyed imminently, you know? Okay, sorry, I'm getting so sidetracked. I have found that the mankind has experienced 81 calamities in the past, and each time only a few people survived. Mankind on this earth faces inexorable doom. Our planet should have been totally destroyed last year. It is I who made the destruction postponed by 30 years. That's so good. That's so good. Li Hongzhi is so powerful. I wonder what powers he has. He can postpone the end of the world. That's one of them.
And Li did write that humanity has nearly been destroyed 81 times in the Zhuan Falun. The site also points out instances where Li has claimed that his followers can achieve the ability to levitate. And yep, here he is talking about levitation.
I've always wanted to...
Oh my god, what is this? No! Okay, I'll just regular screen while I skip the ad. This is an interesting one, right? Where it's kind of like the shit we were already seeing makes an interesting point compared to what the framing that Philly D's guy is giving it, right? Like, if it's all about if it's all about we can't trust the Chinese government and we can't trust Falun Gong, it's all propaganda all the time. Who knows what the reality is? You know, that sure does make it difficult, and then you have to find the good old U.S. State Department as they're the trustworthy ones to talk about China. But when you're talking about quotes that Li Hongzhi has said, reported back through Chinese intelligence, channels, right? The guy is saying some crazy fucking stuff. And I don't know that you really need to, make up more stuff that he's saying. Because, he's already saying the world is going to end and only he can stop it. You know what I mean? He's already saying that he can fucking levitate. You can generally trust what China has to say on the cult that lives in China, TBH, irrespective of whatever ideological disagreements one may have with them. I mean, that's kind of what I think, right? You can disagree with the Chinese government's approach, as in them being, authoritarian. You can disagree with the ways that their policing and justice system works, but, and I do, and again, and one more time for luck, I'm an anarchist, and I don't approve of any state and government, but you don't just have to be clearly they're lying. Clearly they're lying about Li Hongzhi, a fucking insane man who claims to be able to levitate, a fucking grifter who is lying to people about being able to levitate and having postponed the end of the world by 30 years, a man who has created a religious movement who have a dance troupe that portray him destroying a tsunami with Karl Marx's face on it. Why would they lie about that guy, I should catch up with chat. What's up, chat? Let's have a hot to hot. What's up? What's up, my lovely chatters? What's happening? DJ Li Hongzhi, the joy of levitating. These are just messages that are jumping out at me right now. Falun Gong, so true. Wouldn't it be a good way to get people interested if you levitate in front of them? I think so. Probably. Last paragraph. What do the aliens look like? Suddenly, conversation veered to a topic Lee has thus far broached to none but his inner circle. Aliens on Earth. One type of alien looks like a human, but has a nose made of bone. Lee confided. That's the rhinoceros from Spider-Man. Everyone thinks that scientists invent their own, said Lee, when in fact their inspiration is manipulated by the aliens. The aliens intend to replace all humans with clones! This is so fucking good. There's signs in Cleveland about a ballet called China Before Communism. Is this related? Yes, that's what this is. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, for anyone who missed the news, Shen Yun, the ballet, the traditional Chinese classical dance ballet, who are advertising with the slogan China Before Communism, Shen Yun are like a dance outlet of the cult Falun Gong, who own Epoch Times and associate with the far right and Donald Trump and spread deny evolution, anti-miscegenation, anti-homosexuality, and tell people to not take medicine because they don't believe in it. Shen Yun, if you see these ads, and apparently people see these ads everywhere, but I've only just seen one today, and I am fascinated. Shen Yun are a fucking outlet of Falun Gong. They're operated by the religious movement. I'm not saying they're tied or whatever, they're operated by it. And the show includes, as I just said, a tsunami with Karl Marx's face on it, threatening a city, and then Li Hongzhi, the founder of Falun Gong, destroying the tsunami with his superpowers. Okay, we have to carry on. We it's taking so long to watch this one Philly video. Okay, okay. A few weeks before the demonstration, Time interviewed Li Hongji in Manhattan, where he settled after leaving China in 1998. Li believes the ancient Chinese art of Qigong, Falun Gong is one variation, can endow practitioners with superhuman powers. But the topic Master Li seemed to be most knowledgeable about was aliens. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, it's muted.
Talking about levitation.
越练越好的时候，它就会起来。这个我们学员中也很多，但是大多数呢都不让它表现出来，因为那么多人都表现出来，它会破坏常人社会状态。
Well, we didn't hear back from Falun Gong's headquarters about the claims of
Most people, most of their practitioners can levitate, they just choose not to.
levitation. A local Falun
Yeah,
Gong...
me too, actually. Yeah, that's true. I do that as well. Yeah, huh? I can breathe fire additionally, and so fucking good.
organizer pushed back against those
Fantastic, I'm very
claims.
proud
She
of
told us
you.
that Mr. Li repeatedly stresses that practitioners should not have any pursuit for supernormal capability. The website also quotes a Time magazine interview with Li.
Okay, let's look at a bit of this, because this is fucking great. You probably know that some people have supernormal capabilities. Supernormal capabilities is when you can fill out your tax return really fast. They are unique capabilities that are created during the course of the cultivation practice. In order to reach a higher level, we require people to reach the perfection or completion of cultivation. In Chinese, we call this attaining the Tao. Okay. Same principle, Western gods in paradise should not be seen by ordinary mortals because they cannot understand its meaning. Have you seen human beings levitate off the ground? I have known too many. He's like, the Time interviewer is like, have you seen people fly? And he's like, yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. He's like, hey man, have you seen people able to fly? Yeah, man, fuck that shit. I'm fucking done with flying. I hate those people. They fucking ruined my life. So good. Can you describe any that you've known? David Copperfield! Ah! Ah! What? No.
From 1999, in which Li makes several outlandish
I put
claims.
it on screen. David Copperfield, he can levitate, and he did it during performances. Yes! Ah! Yes! This is fucking amazing! Yes! Why isn't Philly D's guy talking about that? You're like, can I trust the Chinese government? Or can I trust the guy who thinks that David Copperfield can fucking levitate? I'm crying! Oh, fuck. This is too much. I'm actually crying. This is so fucking much. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so fucking good. This one that's mostly off screen here says, would you use Qigong to cure an illness? And Lee says, I can do all of this, but I won't do it.
Including that aliens have invaded the human mind, ideology, and culture, that they come from other planets and dimensions.
Okay, let's read more of this. The aliens come from other planets. The names they use for those planets are different. Some are from dimensions that human beings have not yet discovered. Dimensions we haven't discovered. Wow. The key is how they have corrupted mankind. Everyone knows that from the beginning until now, there has never been a development of culture like today. Although it has been several thousand years, it has never been like now. The aliens have introduced modern machinery like computers and airplanes. Yes. They started by teaching mankind about modern science, so people believe more and more science, and spiritually they are controlled. Everyone thinks that scientists invent on their own, when in fact their inspiration is manipulated by the aliens. In terms of culture and spirit, they already control man. Mankind cannot live without science. They are literally anti-science. It's actually true. That's his own words from being interviewed by Time magazine. They are actually anti-science. Why is this even a question? Why are you like playing both sides in this, Rogue Rocket? Why are you playing both sides in this? Like, this guy is literally saying, as reported to Time magazine, that aliens invented science. What the fuck? Honestly, come on, this isn't even hard. What the fuck?
And that they have introduced modern machinery like computers and airplanes. The site doesn't stop there, however. It claims that Lee has said astronomical phenomena caused both the Nanjing Massacre and the Holocaust.
Did anybody order an extra large? Oof. Oh. Ew, damn that Pisces causing the Holocaust. Fucking hell. Oh, jeez. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So this guy, who has a newspaper called the Epoch Times, which promotes Donald Trump, spreads QAnon conspiracy theories. He's partnering with the evangelical right and and religious grifters in America. His cult, which is a cult, runs a show which is called China Before Communism, Shen Yun, right? And that has a fucking tsunami with Karl Marx's face on it that is defeated by him with his magical powers. And they believe that astrological events caused the rape of Nanking and the Holocaust. Why might that be? Maybe because they are fascists who want to spread fascism. What with their cult not believing in science, spreading QAnon, being anti-gay, being anti-miscegenation, anti-evolution. What a mystery, right? What a fucking mystery. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Let's just get through the rest of this.
Something we weren't able to find anywhere else. The Chinese Communist Party also insists that Falun Gong is anti-science and has pushed followers to refuse medical help.
You showed it on screen! You showed it on screen that they're anti-science! You showed on screen an interview from Time magazine where he said aliens invented science! What?
While Lee appears to have a negative view of modern science in the Zhuan Falun, there doesn't
a pretty negative view.
appear to be much evidence that Falun Gong followers have refused medical help. On the other hand, Shen Yun and Falun Gong have their own set of claims against the Chinese government. For example, the performance troupe claims that the Communist Party sent 60 performance companies to compete with Shen Yun in 2006, the same year they began performing. They also allege that the party pressured theaters to back out of or not sign agreements to host Shen Yun performances. And theaters and governments in Ecuador, Ireland, Berlin, and Stockholm have corroborated those claims. Shen Yun even claims that their tour bus tires were slashed, that tour bus brake and accelerator pedals were sabotaged, and that they are continually spied on. The Falun Gong has also been talking—
Okay, and then we read this earlier, right? Oh, that's the wrong button. We read this earlier, right? That the pedals, according to their statement, were melted with acid, was what they claimed. Now, we don't even know that that's true, but that was what the statement claimed, and now he's saying the pedals were sabotaged, which makes it, again, like, sabotaging a brake pedal makes it sound like trying to kill them, like, with like, cutting the brakes, you know? Not making it so they can't drive somewhere. I know that's, like, in some ways splitting hairs, and it's from their statement anyway, so, like, who fucking cares anyway? It might not even be fucking true, but I'm just, like... Bruh.
About their persecution in China for 2 decades now. Just recently, in mid-May, almost 10,000 demonstrated in New York City, calling for the end of Falun Gong's persecution in China. And claims of persecution are fairly widely reported, including in the US Department of State's 2018 Human Rights Report.
Fuck off.
On China, one of the biggest claims is that the Chinese government imprisoned and harvested the organs of Falun Gong followers. China actually admitted that it used to harvest organs from prisoners condemned to death. Some independent reporting alleges that around 60 to 100,000 organs were harvested each year from prisoners condemned to death.
We are looking at not...
So this is one that I want to like put this out to chat. I'm kind of curious on this particular one. I mean, the basic one is, like, if there's an option to opt out, I just kind of think it's fine. But what they're describing there is a government saying that they took organs for, organ transplants from people who got the death penalty. I don't agree with the death penalty, so that's, another layer there, right? Is like, I don't agree with the death penalty. I don't think those people should have been killed anyway, but I'm just like, I just feel like it's kind of, check his source on the claim that they admitted to it. The whole organ harvesting thing is completely debunked. LMAO. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's have a look. Chinese government organ harvesting. Gotta close some of these other fucking tabs now. Susan Silvestri, goodbye. Okay, organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners in China. There have been allegations of forced organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners and other political prisoners in China. According to the controversial report by former lawmaker David Kilgore, human rights lawmaker David Matas, and Ethan Gutman of the U.S. government think tank Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. Oh my fucking god, no, not these fucking guys again. No! Fuck! No, I feel like I'm being haunted by a fucking ghost. No, not these fucking guys again, no! No! I feel like the girl in the horror movie sequel who sees, like, a sign that Freddy is still alive. What the fuck? What the fuck? No! No! Okay, fucking hell. Alright. Okay. Political prisoners, mainly Falun Gong practitioners, are being executed on demand, in order to provide organs for transplant to recipients. Research undertaken by the Washington Post has contradicted these allegations by showing that China does not import sufficient quantities of immunosuppressant drugs used by transplant recipients to carry out the alleged organ harvesting. That will come up in the video in a second, but I want to understand a little bit more of this. Okay. Evidence. Several distinct strands of evidence have been presented to support allegations that Falun Gong practitioners have been killed for their organs in China. Researchers, human rights advocates, and medical advocacy groups have focused in particular on the volume of organ transplants performed in China, the disparity between the number of transplants and known sources of organs, the significant growth in the transplant industry coinciding with the mass imprisonment of Falun Gong practitioners, short wait times that suggest an on-demand execution schedule, and reports that Falun Gong prisoners are given medical exams in custody to assess their candidacy as organ suppliers. Right. Who are these people, Author Dent 42? These people, we're talking about a Falun Gong who are a cult, who are an anti-gay, anti-science, anti-miscegenation, anti-evolution cult, who own Epoch Times, if you've ever heard of that, who is a news outlet in the US, which promotes QAnon, and who also run the dance show Shen Yun. So if you see ads for a dance show called Shen Yun, it may or may not have the tagline "China before communism." That's who's running this. I meant to ask, who are the Victims of Communism people? Right. Okay. So Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation are a far-right think tank, I guess is how it described it earlier in this article. But basically, like, they try to bump up the highest possible number they can for all the worldwide victims of communism. I believe, is this right? They list all abortions, right? Nat?
Huh?
The Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation.
Yeah?
So they're the ones claiming that Falun Gong have their organs harvested. Okay, but the thing I wanted to ask was, they list all abortions as victims of communism, right?
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I've heard something like that. Also, Nazis.
Gnats in the ceiling? Yeah, gnats in the ceiling. Yeah, that's what chat is saying as well. So 100 million dead, the 100 million dead iPhone Vuvuzela. So the 100 million dead include every person killed in an abortion, all Nazi soldiers, very cool, and Japanese soldiers as well, victims of communism during World War II. Ceiling Nat is watching. Okay, so what's going on is, I'm listening
to David Graeber.
I'm not telling them that you're stressed again, don't worry. Our house has a mezzanine, so it's basically the bedroom is above the living room. That's where Nat is. That's why when I'm yelling up there, Nat isn't in the ceiling, she's in our bedroom. Nat's clearly levitating. No, Nat chooses not to levitate. Oh my fucking god, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What did you just throw at me? What the fuck? That's not okay. I could have died. And to reiterate, it's not an accurate list of abortions. They estimate the number of abortions in the USSR and China. Wow. So good. So cool. So normal. So good. Arthur Dent 42, did that clear things up a little bit? I hope that helped. I hope that cleared things up a little bit. Okay, shit. Fuck, I've gotten so derailed now. Where were we? Right. Evidence for organ harvesting. Let's go. Liver transplants performed. I mean, even that just seems like a pretty normal, like, oh, the number's going up? Whatever. Like, there are a bajillion things that can explain these kind of things. Okay. Discrepancy in known sources of organs. 95% of China does not perform enough legal executions to account for the large number of transplants that are performed. Okay, so that part, again, we're coming back around to... Okay. Okay. So, we need to read this background part. Organ transplantation in China. Because this is the part that I'm kind of curious about and kind of like... I don't know. I maybe want to feel this one out with chat, right? Because I feel that a government saying we're going to take organs from people who receive who are executed is okay if people can opt out of that. You know, for example, there are people whose religion, forbids that kind of practice, and that's completely valid. But I think that like there's been proposals before to make it basically like everyone is a viable organ donor after death unless they opt out. And I think that as long as you can opt out, it's kind of fine. My issue is with the death penalty, like I said. But let's read this. China has one of the largest organ transplant programs in the world. Once again, they have the largest population, so that's... Didn't we make organ transplant default in Scotland unless you opt out? Yes, and so clearly Scotland is executing Falun Gong prisoners on demand in order to meet its quota of kidneys. Although China does not keep nationwide statistics on transplant volume, Chinese Communist Party-owned China Daily, Chinese Communist Party-owned China Daily Chinese reported that Chinese officials... You know when sometimes like the xenophobia of Western Wikipedia editors just like bleeds through into them just like writing the word Chinese an extra time in a sentence because they're just like they're just like Chinese.
Maybe it's like Chinese language as opposed to language.
It's not saying Chinese reported as a verb.
Right.
It's not saying that. It's oh, they're Chinese, are they? Yeah. Right. Some sources say the actual number of transplants is significantly high. Oh, wait. Approximately 9,000 transplants over 9,000 transplants that took place in 2006 were kidney and liver transplants, according to data from the Chinese Ministry of Health. Some sources say the actual number of transplants is significantly higher, based on detailed analysis of hospital records. As a matter of culture and custom, however, China has extremely low rates of voluntary organ donation. Okay. Between 2003 and 2009, for instance, only 130 people volunteered to be... 130, the whole of China, volunteered to be organ donors. In 2010, the Chinese Red Cross launched a nationwide initiative to attract voluntary organ donors, but only 37 people signed up as of 2011. Due to low levels of voluntary organ donations, most organs used in transplants are sourced from prisoners. Right, okay. The Chinese government approved a regulation in 1984 to allow the removal of organs from executed criminals, provided they give prior consent or if no one claims the body. Ah, this is literally, like, this is exactly what I say. Like, literally, if you say, like, if you just say, the Chinese government has admitted to harvesting the organs of prisoners before, that is a very different statement to, they will, oh god, they will remove the organs from executed criminals, provided they give prior consent or if no one claims the body. I am so fucking vindicated, but in the worst possible way right now. Like, I'm vindicated, but I hate this shit. Okay. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Despite the absence of an organized system of organ donation or allocation, wait times for obtaining vital organs in China are among the shortest in the world. Often just weeks for organs such as kidneys, livers, and hearts. But I thought America had the best health system in the world. That's why the Conservatives are trying to make the UK's health system just like America, because they have the best health system in the world. What? This has made it a destination for international transplant tourism. Fucking hell. And a major venue for tests of pharmaceutical anti-rejection drugs. The commercial trade in human organs has also been a lucrative source of revenue for the Chinese medical, military, and public security establishments. Because there is no effective nationwide organ donation or allocation system, hospitals source organs from local brokers, including through their connections to courts, detention centers, and prisons. So there is an industry of organs. That chills me. That upsets me. That does upset me. There's an industry, like a market of organs. But basically, you just trust that as far as you trust markets. Basically. Okay. I'm reeling from all the information going into my brain right now. My brain's gonna have to go into recovery mode after this. Okay. So, persecution of Falun Gong. Falun Gong is a Chinese Qigong discipline involving meditation and moral philosophy rooted in Buddhist tradition. The practice rose to popularity in the 1990s in China, and by 1998, Chinese government sources estimated that as many as 70 million people had taken up the practice. Perceiving that Falun Gong was a potential threat to the party's authority and ideology, Communist Party leader Jiang Zemin initiated a nationwide campaign to eradicate the group in July 1999. Okay, so again, revisiting this, 70 million people, because yes, that would be a significant portion of their population, and that would explain them trying to shut the group down and make it illegal, right? Like, whereas if it was 2 million people, you know what I mean? Like, if it was 2 million people, I don't know, whatever. An extra constitutional body called the 610 Office was created to lead the persecution of Falun Gong and authorities mobilized the state, media, apparatus, judiciary, police force, army, education system, families, and workplaces to struggle against the group. Since 1999, Falun Gong practitioners have been the targets of systematic torture, mass imprisonment, forced labor, and psychiatric abuse, all with the aim of forcing them to recant their beliefs. As of 2009, the New York Times reported that at least 2,000 Falun Gong practitioners had been killed amid the persecution campaign. Falun Gong sources documented over 3,700 named death cases by 2013. Due to the difficulty in accessing and relaying information from China, however, this may represent only a portion of actual deaths. Right. 2,000 out of 70 million out of 1 billion. Yeah, that's a good point. But still, that's fucked. Like, don't persecute a religious group, even if that religious group are insane and fascists. Don't torture anybody. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Catching up with chat again. Let's catch up with chat, and we'll finally finish this fucking Philly D video. Okay. This means they're dependent on certain numbers receiving the death penalty to meet demand. That's troubling. That is a valid point, and is a good example of how market dynamics are evil. That's a good point. I'll take that point. But I don't really believe they're executing people to meet the market demand. I don't really think that's... I don't know. It's a pretty extreme claim. Hey, Orc Mom. Welcome to the chat. Good to see ya. Looked up to compare and did not realize the US prisoners are not allowed to donate organs. Huh. Because they're evil? Because they might have an evil organ? You wouldn't want someone's evil organ in your body. I mean, I would, but...
It's an appropriate thing.
Let me make my joke! Let me make my joke one time! One single time! Guys, I have such a hard time because my girlfriend talks when I'm trying to make my joke. And it's gonna be a really good joke, but then she starts yelling. Guys, please subscribe and share. Guys, please. You wouldn't want to have someone's evil organ in your body. I mean, I would. What do you say?
Just that seems appropriate because you couldn't really, you couldn't really properly give consent to something like that whilst you're imprisoned by the state, and also America has the most prisoners per capita of any country in the world. So
yeah,
that would be an extremely fucked situation if prisoners were...
Were you listening when we were reading through it before?
Some of it.
So China does take organs from executed prisoners.
Yeah.
But they do ask for consent.
Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. That that is what I would hope would be the case if they were doing that. And also it would make sense for any country to say that they're not allowed to donate organs because can they really properly give consent?
I definitely agree with the can they give consent thing. I want to add to that it said that it was also if no one claims the body.
Yeah.
Which is literally okay, in that case, I'm not saying, sorry, to be clear, I'm not saying if they didn't really consent because they can't give consent, but no one claims the body, that's fine. But I'm trying to say there is a pretty, very straightforward loophole if you want to avoid the organ harvesting. Which is a pretty normal thing, which is if your family claim your body,
Yeah, but obviously then you don't get a choice over, whether your family give a shit about you after you die.
Also, autistic people can be denied organ transplants in the US? Jesus fucking Christ. Ugh, okay, let's get back to the thing. Let's just get back to the thing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so there we go. We've had a pretty interesting look through that stuff. Oh, baby. I'm just obsessed with the fact that the main Western source of this shit is the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation.
Yeah, that's it.
That really was the bit that really tipped me over here. I was I was like, I don't know, like, yeah, it looks like there is some kind of source on, like, China harvesting organs or whatever, and now I'm like, okay, Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation, anything they say, I am inclined to disbelieve without strong evidence that then pushes me back the other way. Like, if the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation told me the sky was blue, I'd be like, nah. Fucking nah. Absolutely not. No. I will say there is photographic evidence of guards in prison torturing Falun Gong followers on the wiki, so I don't understand why they didn't bring that up. Right. I mean, like, again, yeah, it seems a pretty clear-cut thing that the Chinese government have been persecuting an amount of people en masse for being Falun Gong practitioners and torturing them, and that's obviously horrifying. It's just this specific thing that we're trying to litigate through here, and I honestly kind of feel these guys, Rogue Rocket, have done a little bit of a bad job. Source: YouTube End Transplant Abuse. Interesting. Wait a fucking minute, Ethan Gutmann? Hang on a fucking second. Hang on a goddamn fucking minute. Ethan Gutmann of the US government think tank Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. Wait a fucking minute. Hang on, guys.
Organs were harvested each year from prisoners condemned to death.
We are looking at not 10,000 transplants per year in China, but something more like 60 to 100,000 transplants per year in China.
It's reasonable to...
They just uncritically... Fucking Rogue Rocket just uncritically used the fucking Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation guy as a goddamn source.
I have to say as well, when people are resorting to these like bizarre, like indirect methods of data collection, like it's just like, okay, what are you even fucking talking about? This is so fucked.
Okay, it looks like this channel End Transplant Abuse, or End Transplant Abuse in China, I think is what they're really called, is specifically about this specific thing. I'm not going to say conspiracy theory, although I'm very tempted at this point. God, and then they're making it about Uyghur people as well, just to like, that's fucked, you know, like trying to tie in the persecution of Uyghur Muslims to the persecution of this fucking fascist cult. Oh, I'm so fucking annoyed. Oh god. Oh, I'm so fucking annoyed. Anyway, it looks like this channel uses Ethan Gutmann as a source a lot. So, fuck off. basically, fuck off. Actually, I can't believe I've been owned so hard with facts and logic. iPhone Vuvuzela. I've just learned so much today, all about iPhone and Vuvuzela and 100 million dead and Marxism, the red tsunami.
To believe that Falun Gong members were condemned to death for their actions and had their organs harvested. A House resolution from 2015.
I'm sorry, is that David? Literally. They're just showing Falun Gong people marching with a fucking banner, right? And on the banner, it has David Kilgore and David Matas from the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. Fucking hell.
Members were condemned to death for their actions and had their organs harvested. A House resolution from 2015 even acknowledged the consistent reports of organ harvesting of Falun Gong members. However,
a U.S. House resolution
from 2015 even acknowledged the consistent reports of organ harvesting of Falun Gong.
How is this? How the fuck is how the fuck is any how I'm losing it. I'm fucking losing it right now. I'm fucking oh god, I'm fucking losing it right now. Oh my god. Okay, so she's a Cuban American, Florida. She's a Floridan Cuban. representative. Oh my god. Let's see if she got any ties to QAnon. That's what I want to know. This is all fucking wild. QAnon. Just make sure that that's in there. Gotta have that in there. Very important. I'm fucking losing it right. She's one of the victims of communism! Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking hell. Alright, well, she's retired now, so she's probably not that into QAnon, right? She's probably not even that into QAnon. She probably can't even levitate, you know, fucking, who even cares? Like, she probably can't even levitate or whatever, like, does she have a Twitter? Does she have a Twitter? Does she have a Twitter, though? Oh, she does. Oh, she does, though. Oh, she does, though. She does, though, and people, you know. Uh-oh. Oh, Nat sent me this meme. You can all see in my DMs. You all can see in my DMs just now. Sophia discovering how deep the rabbit hole goes. Turns out not very. You all can see in my DMs right now because Nat sent me this great meme. Trans women named after months. Trans women named after plants. I'm named after the highest virtue. So just jot that down for a second. All you plant girls and month girls. Eat shit. Okay, you know, she got vaccinated. She's posted a picture of her, you know, her vaccination card. She's probably not QAnon in that case. You know, that seems like a pretty straightforward. You know, she's not. Okay. She got vaccinated. There we go. That's all I need. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. Let's just go on because she got a vaccine. She got the vaccine. That's it. So she's microchipped. Okay, Bill Gates has got her already. So I just found this out like literally yesterday that you can't say the I word. I already knew you couldn't say the C word. Now you can't say the I word on Twitch, right? Like, I don't know if I can talk about I don't know if I can make jokes about Bill Gates microchipping people or what, because I've ironically made those jokes before on Twitter and had my account suspended for a week. But if I say Jeff Bezos is an incel cracker bitch, does that get me suspended here? I don't even fucking know. I only just found this out yesterday. Anyway.
Members. However, reporting can sometimes conflict over whether Falun Gong members are specifically targeted. In mid-June, an international tribunal found that forced organ harvesting has been committed for years throughout China on a
Forced organ harvesting has been committed for years throughout China on a significant scale, and that's China Tribunal. And the Falun Gong practitioners have been one and probably the main source of organ supply. Okay, but the main source of the claim that Falun Gong practitioners are a source of organs comes from the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation, so that's just not fucking true then, is it? I'm losing my goddamn mind. Okay, China Tribunal. China Tribunal. Is a non-governmental people's tribunal to inquire into the organ harvesting in China. It is headquartered in London. So it was founded to inquire into the forced organ harvesting in China. Okay, we gotta derail again. It's another derail, everyone. I know. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry, alright? Fucking just live with it. It's time for another fucking derail. Okay. The chair of the China Tribunal is Sir Jeffrey Nice, which is just so funny. Okay. Nice has been involved with the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. He was lead prosecutor at the trial of Slobodan Milosevic, in The Hague and initiated prosecution's initial case of linking atrocities committed with the film. Okay, all right, okay. He's got some cred. He got some cred there. I just found it very funny that he's called Sir Geoffrey Nice. There he is. What a nice set of hair plugs. What a nice job your surgeon did. Okay. All right. Back to China Tribunal. Okay. Okay. Who are China Tribunal? Okay. Calm down, Sophie, calm down. Okay. Other members include Professor of Pediatric Cardiothoracic Surgery at University College London, Martin Elliott. Why? And historian Arthur Waldron. Fascinating. The tribunal was initiated by the International Coalition to End Transplant Abuse in China. Okay, everybody. International. I already know where this is going, and I'm just like, this is so good. This is just so fucking good. You know what I mean? This is just so fucking good. Endtransplantabuse.org. Yeah. So this is the same. Yep, this is the same as the YouTube we saw earlier, who were using Ethan Gutmann from the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation as their primary source. Because I'm just gonna search please. Yep. Personal. Yep. So streamer doesn't need to hear it in chat. The hair negativity felt unnecessary. Okay, everybody. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I hate people who take measures to restore their hairlines. They are the single group of people I personally believe it to be fine to bully, persecute, even kill. Actually. Yeah. They just keep on bodies at the Yeah, their main source on everything is Ethan Gutmann from the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. They're even citing the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation there as well. Oh, this is so fucking good. Oh, this is so fucking... Wow, problematic. Can I report my local church for organ abuse? They have no restraint on that thing. Oh, Freddie, I don't mean it. I'm sorry, Freddie. Oh no, I'm sorry, Freddie. I was just teasing. Aww. You should transplant the organ to your living room. Good one. Right. Okay, cool. So that's just gonna quickly just discard the China Tribunal, who were initiated by the International Coalition to End Transplant Abuse in China. A fucking puppet organization of the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. This is all just... I love journalism. I fucking love journalism so fucking much. I fucking love journalism. This is what sucks about this. You have to do so much homework to look into who are saying what, who funds them, and who they pal around with before you can take something at face value. I was going to come on the stream and just be like, yo, I found out about this crazy cult. It's pretty wild, isn't it? The Philly D's right here. You can't really like trust the sources on it implicitly. But then I wanted to just check stuff, and it's just led me down this wild rabbit hole, and now it's been 2 hours. It's been fucking 2 hours. What the fuck? Like, oh my god. Forced organ harvesting has been committed for years. Okay, that's from China Tribunal, so good job with the journalism there, Dylan.
Significant scale, and that Falun Gong practitioners have been one, and probably the main, source of organ supply.
Again, says the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. Yep.
2017...
Why would that be the case? Why would that be the case? That doesn't make any sense.
Why would that be the case? That doesn't make any sense. I completely agree. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
Chinese government,
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If they're just doing that to prisoners, why would it mostly be
Yep.
Falun Gong members?
Yep. Oh my god. This is just so much. Okay. China used to harvest organs from prisoners under pressure. That practice is finally ending.
Report from the
this is the Washington
Post. Probably
I was
the
gonna try and
main
scroll
source
up and
of
see what the
organ
thing was.
supply. But a 2017 report from the Washington Post
Okay.
seems to discredit those high organ harvesting numbers, since immunosuppressant drugs required for recipients of transplants weren't entering China at a corresponding rate.
So all of the in the both sidesing that Philly D is dangerously once again engaging in here. All of one side's sources, almost all of them tie directly back to either QAnon or the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation. And on the other side, you've got, like, the Times, the Washington Post, and yeah, the Chinese government, who you can't just take at face value, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Defending Falun Gong members in Chinese courts also rejected the notion that Falun Gong members' organs were being harvested, further discrediting the idea that Falun Gong members are being specifically targeted for transplants. And again, none of this is made clear when both sides are communicating with propaganda, media...
Both sides! It's both sides! You have no way of telling! It's both sides!
organizations. The Chinese government has a track record of human rights abuses, and the Falun Gong is just one example on top of many others, like the Uyghur minority in Xinjiang. But even though the Chinese government has admitted to organ harvesting, some of the Falun Gong's claims...
Philly D and his whole set of fucking wet boys just fall for this shit so easily, so fucking easily, literally like a far-right, fascist, anti-miscegenation, anti-gay, anti-evolution, QAnon cult are like, we're just the same as the Uyghur Muslims. And they're like, yeah, we should do some serious reporting on this.
fall apart under scrutiny. It also doesn't help that the Falun Gong doesn't exactly address the eclectic claims that Li has made, or that they have media organizations to get out their propaganda. So while we're pretty sure that Shen Yun is a performance group, the reality of the organization behind Shen Yun is much less clear. Maybe the only way to find out is to experience 5,000 years of civilization at a Shen Yun performance.
So with all of that said,
Chat, do you have any criticisms? I'm not even gonna say it myself. Do you have any criticisms of how this how this section wraps up here?
To get out their propaganda. So while we're pretty sure that Shen Yun is a performance group, the reality of the organization behind Shen Yun is much less clear. Maybe the only way to find out is to experience 5,000 years of civilization at a Shen Yun performance.
So, I'm just gonna leave it to chat. Chat, do you have anything to say about this? Do you have anything to say about just the ending, just specifically like the note they've chosen to leave this segment on? Do you have any notes? Did he just say the truth can be found at a Shen Yun performance? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. 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 Yeah, he did actually. He did say that the truth can be found at a Shen Yun performance. So just go see for yourself. Just go see Shen Yun. Just do it. That's the segment. Literally just ends with an ad. That's an ad. That's an ad. That's an ad.
So, with all of that said, everything we've
Phil!
showcased, we want to pass the question off to you. For those who have seen a Shen Yun performance, what was it like? Did you feel like it was propaganda? Do you have any faith that either the Chinese government or the Falun Gong are telling the truth here? And really, just any thoughts and reactions I'd love to see in those comments down below. And hey, if you like this video, we'd love if you took a sec.
Okay, so let's go look in the comments down below, shall we? Okay, let's go look in the comments down below, shall we? Okay. Okay. My aunt was coughing and had fever, and when she was practicing Falun Gong. We weren't suspicious of anything at the beginning. She told us she just had a cold. Later, she got worse and refused to go to hospital. That's the turning point of how our family thought about Falun Gong. 3 of my uncles had to drag her to the hospital. I was young, but it was very chaotic. Her mentor in Falun Gong was encouraging her to not see a doctor and need to be more faithful in her practice so she can get better. Uh-huh. Right. Uh-huh. Me and my husband went to see a show. The dancing was nice and some parts were funny, but about midway it got increasingly political. Tons of propaganda and a song that says something about evolution being evil. A dance toward the end showed that the Chinese government stealing a young girl's mother's eyeballs, to which she converts her mother to the religion and is given her eyes back. Yes, it was straight up propaganda. Made everyone really uncomfortable once we, the audience, realized that what we were watching. I was a dancer when I was younger, and I also watched many traditional dances from multiple countries, including China. This was not what I thought it was going to be going in. It was like going to see Tom Cruise in a new Mission Impossible movie, only for him to talk about Scientology for 3 hours. As a Chinese person, here are my thoughts. I've known about Falun Gong since the mid-90s. The first impression to me was, like, what a bunch of weirdos. Calling it the Chinese equivalent to Scientology is pretty accurate. Thanks for giving my eyeballs back. That's true, everyone. If you subscribe, you will get your eyeballs back. Giving Sophie money is based, and not giving Sophie money, that's cringe. Okay, Chinese equivalent of Scientology is pretty accurate. My parents were well educated, so even though I was about 10 years old at the time, I'd read a lot and have okay understanding of science and history. One day, my mum brought home a copy of Li's book, Zhen Falun, which was given to her by a coworker. Out of curiosity, I picked it up. It was so ridiculous, I was laughing my ass off. Cults like Falun Gong were popular in China at that time. Keep in mind, a lot of Chinese people at the time were very superstitious and not well educated, so some people did take the cult crap seriously. While members of Falun Gong today deny they ever forced anyone to refuse medical treatment, it was no surprise that some followers did refuse medical treatment, considering Falun Gong's teaching. Sure, they were not forced, but brainwashed to do it voluntarily, which was very disturbing nonetheless. Falun Gong itself is not that special, but it did have some very talented marketing people. As a result, it has the largest group of followers. These cults were becoming a society issue in the late 90s. Many Chinese people did have the opinion that something had to be done about this. The government had also begun to discourage people from joining these groups. Falun Gong organizations were feeling threatened, and that was the trigger for them to go to Zhongnanhai and organize protests. I'd say these protests poked the bear. Before that, the government measures were very mild, but after it, the government began to crack down on cults the hard way. Falun Gong was a prime target. I mean, I still, like I've been saying, don't support like the things that have been like documented absolutely have been done. From what I know, the Chinese government did throw a large number of hardcore followers in jail. They also fired government employees who follow Falun Gong, Personally, I think these measures were too harsh and indeed violated human rights. But this is CCP, we're talking about nothing new. On the other hand, organ harvesting, specifically targeting Falun Gong followers, is most likely bullshit. Yes, China did harvest organs from prisoners to condemn to death. It was not a secret. But just because some hardcore Falun Gong members were thrown into prison doesn't mean their organs were taken. The Chinese government had no motive to do so. Some Western people had the naive idea CCP is bad, Falun Gong is anti-CCP, so it must be good. I suggest you guys think about it and don't blindly believe any propaganda. Things are not usually as simple as they seem. I love Philly D's comment section just owning him unbelievably hard right now. This is so fucking good. Oh my god. Okay, let's watch JJ McCullough.
Hello, friends. Today I'm going to tell you about something very strange that happened.
We're gonna learn about something.
To me the other day. But first, some background. Now, I live in a big city, which means that the Shen Yun performers recently came to town. If you live in a big city like me, you are probably vaguely familiar with them. They are like a traditional Chinese dance trope.
In case people haven't heard of JJ McCullough, JJ is a Canadian conservative YouTuber who does a lot of cultural commentary. It's usually very pop culture focused and kind of mild. But yeah, he is conservative. So despite being a funky little guy with a cute haircut, don't assume he's super progressive. As a Canadian, I apologize for his existence. Also, quick note, if you're enjoying the stream, consider paying for the stream. You can subscribe or cheer or donate directly using Command Tip. Also, if you have an Amazon Prime account for some godforsaken reason, you can connect it to your Twitch and give me money without actually paying any money. You can give me a free sub, and I'll get money even though you don't pay anything, if you have Amazon Prime.
We're here in Vancouver during March, and during that time, they were really advertising all over the place.
Should I get a beam? Should I get a space hopper? Because the way that he bounces during videos, I kind of wish I could bounce like that. I'd just be here talking to you guys, and I'd just be like, so let me tell you about Cryptoland. It's fucked.
You'd go to the mall and they would have a little table set up in the middle of the place with, the brochures and a little TV playing highlights from the show. Now, I don't know about you, but traditional Chinese dancing has never really been my thing, so I did not give the Shen Yun people that much attention when they first appeared. But at the same time, they were pretty hard to ignore. They had ads all over the train and in the newspaper and in billboards all over town. It was a little bit much. And after a while, something started to feel a little bit off about them. That maybe they were trying a little bit too hard. I was at Best Buy one day. And right at the entrance, they had a little Shen Yun display with the TV. And so I stood there and I watched a bit of the trailer, and it was pretty odd. They showed some testimony of people who were supposedly just leaving the performance, and they all seemed just a little bit too giddy.
I'm incredibly inspired after coming tonight.
I feel 30 years younger.
Normally I'm bored when she takes me to these things, but I loved it. I could go another couple hours.
It was just amazing.
Yeah. See it 100 more times.
It's actually even worse if you visit the website. I've reviewed over 3,000 shows. None can compare to what I saw tonight.
Holy
Go
shit.
back and see it about 6 times.
Holy
says
shit.
Richard Conema, renowned Broadway critic.
Was that Richard? Wait. Okay, I mean, Richard Kind doesn't look like anybody, so fucking...
After coming tonight.
I feel 30 years younger.
Wait, did you mean that guy? That wasn't Richard
when
Kind.
she takes me to these things, but I loved it. I could go another couple hours.
It was just amazing.
Yeah. See it 100 more times.
It's actually even worse if you visit the website. I've reviewed over 3,000 shows. None can compare to what I saw tonight. Go back and...
They're so white. That's what they said, right? That was cut from the ad that I showed you at the start of the stream, but the people giving the testimonials are so white.
See it about 6 times, says Richard Conema, renowned Broadway critic. Go see it to believe it, because otherwise you are going to miss the most important thing in your life, says Joe Hurd, former White House photographer who watched Shen Yun 3 times. This is what he is credited as. I noticed a lot of the testimonials also made a big deal about how supposedly spiritually uplifting the show is in particular. A lot of the rhetoric is
I see God. I see the spirit of love and peace and the way that you would want the universe to be.
Now, as you have probably concluded by now, Shen Yun is actually just a front for a cult. Here is an excerpt from a review in The New Yorker. The dances continued, sleeves swirling, skirts rippling. A man came on stage to sing a song in Chinese, which was translated on the screen behind him. We followed Dafa, the Great Way, he began, singing about a creator who saved mankind and made the world anew. Atheism and evolution are deadly ideas. Modern trends destroy what make us human, he sang. That same New Yorker piece also noted that there isn't really even such a thing as traditional Chinese dance. The Shen Yun people just exploit the cultural ignorance of white folk to reel them in. But here is where the story gets even more interesting. You see, Shen Yun is run by the Shen Yun Performing Arts Organization, which is run by the Falun Gong. The Falun Gong is a Chinese cult started in 1992 by...
I rarely say this, but thank you, JJ.
Li Hongzhi, who claims to be a supernatural being from another dimension sent to Earth to save humanity through a combination of breathing exercises and books on tape. The pitch is that if you follow Master Li's teachings, you can eventually cleanse your body.
Well, this is already infinitely better than Philly D's reporting.
Of all weakness and illness, and eventually transcend the fleshy prison of the cursed human world and ascend to a higher plane of existence where you can become a perfect godlike being, much like Master Li himself. It's a lot like Scientology, basically. And much like Scientology, as long as you profess undying loyalty to the Master, you will eventually be saved when the era of great cleansing comes and the enlightened are separated from the impure. Incidentally, in Master Li's world, impure behavior includes things such as using medicine, homosexuality, and race mixing. So yes, the whole thing seems a bit nuts. But hold on to your hats, because it gets even weirder from here. You see, we are not supposed to say too many mean things about the Falun Gong people, because they are so heavily persecuted by the Chinese government. Much like the Romans in Jesus' time, the Chinese Communist Party considers Master Li to be a troublemaker whose wacky beliefs could undermine their tyrannical hold on the public. So
unreal how much better this is than centrist BS? Yeah, isn't it? Isn't this completely wild? Like, this truly shows you, like, the brain poisoning of centrism. Like, just, like, unless they were paid. Holy fuck. Nat, are you listening?
What?
What if they were paid?
Nah. It's so easy for them to just make content where they just scour the internet and they just list everything that they've seen, and that's how that sounds.
Okay. Falun Gongism is banned in China, forcing Mr. Li to preach his nonsense from New York, where he has lived in exile since 1998. According to Amnesty International, over the last 20 years, tens of thousands of Falun Gong practitioners have been arbitrarily detained as part of a campaign of intimidation and persecution targeting the group. Practitioners have been held in psychiatric hospitals, re-education through labor facilities, a form of administrative detention imposed without charge, trial, or judicial review, or sentenced to long prison terms. This is obviously very sinister, but the Falun Gong people think it doesn't sound bad enough. Master Li obviously has a vested interest in making himself sound very big and powerful and threatening, with, millions of followers. And as a result, official Falun Gong propaganda, including the Shen Yun show, often play up their persecution to, like, cartoonish extremes. I remember a while ago, the Falun Gong people commissioned this flaky Canadian politician named David Kilgore to write a big report proving that the Chinese government...
Yes, the guy from the fucking Victims of Communism Memorial Fund. Yes, exactly.
Had in fact detained hundreds of thousands of Falun Gong practitioners and was harvesting their organs while they were still alive. This is a very...
Oh my god, I can't not notice the bouncing now. Yeah, right. That's what I mean. And then once you notice it, after a while, you start to like it, and then you're like, should I get one? Should I get a space hopper? Right? Isn't that, like, fucking shit, man?
Very common Falun Gong allegation, but it is also one that human rights experts are pretty skeptical of, just because there's not really a lot of hard evidence. The Chinese government does have a gruesome history of harvesting and selling the organs of executed prisoners, but there is no real proof that the Falun Gong people specifically have been on the receiving end of this, let alone that they comprise the majority of its victims. It seems like a bit of a PR tactic of just taking one of the most sensationalistically evil things that the Chinese government has ever done and trying to conflate it in the mind of the international community with the more generalized persecution of the Falun Gong. But anyway, the point is, because we in the West do not really like the Chinese communists,
you can't find out information on
Chat, can you hear that okay? Like, let me know, I'll relay things if you...
Okay. Like, looking into, like, the Chinese government harvesting organs from prisoners, you basically can't find information on it without it focusing specifically on Falun Gong.
Right, and also if you go looking like we just did on stream, you will inevitably wind up with the China Tribunal, the ETAC,
right,
or directly with the Victims of Communism Memorial, right. And the previous two organizations I just mentioned are both just offshoots of the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation.
Right. So they're really making, like, if
She was just saying that you can't even you can't even try to research organ harvesting without it going to Falun Gong. And so like so even the existing issue that you might want to care about, like, it's so consumed with the conspiracy theory from this cult that, like, they're completely distracting from any go on, sorry?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna carry on watching.
Particularly how little respect their government...
Oh, Just Around Fry says, I feel like even if you are conservative, yeah, right, usually makes you just awful brainworms, but even if you're conservative, the fact you're remotely interested in researching politics on the most baseline levels gives you more of a sense of critical thinking than centrists by default due to ignorant kinds of people. I think that's, yeah.
Seems to have for the right of freedom of religion in that country. There has been a lot of pressure over the years to not be too critical of the Falun Gong. The thinking is that if we concede that the Falun Gong is a cult, which it very obviously is, we will be legitimizing the pretext...
No, hang on a second. He's praying to a picture of himself. That's him. It's a picture of him. And he's praying to
that the Chinese use to suppress freedom of religion in general, particularly to Christians and Muslims. The Chinese state argues that religion is something inherently dangerous and subversive, and thus needs to be controlled by the government. And we in the West say, no, religion is good and harmless, even though we all know on some level that that's not always true. Religious groups can, in fact, be bad things, but the Chinese have gone way too far with this conclusion.
Do we in the West say that religion is harmless, JJ? I feel like that's your conservatism showing, but fine, carry on.
And we don't want to give them any moral cover for doing that. As a result, when the Falun Gong is talked about in America or Canada or Europe or wherever, you are very likely to hear a lot.
Thank you, Jess, yeah. Philly D, go see for yourself, JJ. It's obviously a cult.
A lot of euphemistic language about how it is just a spiritual movement and this sort of thing. Governments in the West also tend to talk about the persecution of the Falun Gong as being one of China's most visible human rights abuses. The Chinese government, in turn, really, really hates it when the West does this. They think that we are really enabling this group that they see as a serious threat. Ever since Master Li's exile to America, Falun Gong has spent a lot of time propagandizing to Chinese immigrants in the West, and he seems to have been relatively successful. Here in Vancouver, for instance, which has quite a large Chinese population, you do often see Falun Gong demonstrations against the Chinese government and public protests and stuff. Sometimes they're camped outside government offices and things. The Falun Gong also owns a newspaper called the Epoch Times, which you may have seen. It's very anti-communist.
You didn't have to say it like it was the Epic Times.
as well. But of course, nothing compares to the Shen Yun extravaganza. Alright, now let us bring the story back to me. The other day I get an email from some guy named Franco, and he is like, I have a video I want you to put on your YouTube channel. I will give you $500 if you do. And this is very hilarious to me because Franco is very obviously just some sort of Chinese agent who is trying to rope me into some sort of anti-Falun Gong propaganda campaign. The video is terrible. It features a white guy sitting in what I can only describe as a North Korean news studio, blandly reading some script about how evil the Shen Yun show is.
I hope everyone can truly see the real purpose of this for and the hopes in this video.
Holy shit.
Feeling cheated in the future.
It is so obviously communist propaganda, it really boggles my mind that they thought this would be persuasive to anyone, or that you guys would just...
so it's not, JJ, it's not communist propaganda, but fucking fine, carry on.
Just accept this if I put this on my channel. It is also a little bit insulting to me that Franco has done absolutely no research into my own background, given that a quick Google search would find that I have written some very critical articles about the Chinese government for the Washington Post. Now, obviously, I had no intention of taking Franco's money or
You know, Peter, I'm something of a cringe lord myself.
along with his little stunt, but I did try to string him along for a little bit just so I could learn more about this crazy scheme. I asked him if the money was coming from the Chinese government, and he denied this, but then I said, okay, so how about if I insert a little bit at the beginning where I talk about how evil the Chinese Communist Party is? And he was like, no, you can't do that. I also asked him about the guy in the video, if he maybe had his own YouTube channel or something, and Franco was like, no, he is just a small reporter. I think it would be cool to track him down though. I suspect they paid him a lot, but I wonder if he regrets it. He's probably just some white guy living in China, and I know that they can be easy marks sometimes. If you guys know any good sleuthing techniques, let me know. Anyway, the point I am trying to get across in this video is that propaganda is a complicated thing. To live in the modern world is to be targeted by elaborate...
No, you're right. It is actually communist propaganda because they had a leftist audio setup.
Expensive campaigns designed to change your thinking while also concealing the hand of the person who wants to do that changing. It is also important to understand that propaganda lives in a complex ecosystem in which it responds to and interacts with other forms of propaganda. It is clear, for instance, that both Master Li and the Chinese government feed off the propaganda of each other, and this results in an endless cycle of disinformation in which it is very difficult to tell truth from fiction. The organ harvesting thing is a good example. Both sides have such little credibility, it is really difficult to know what to think. Now, personally,
Both sides have little credibility, says J.J. McCullough.
I think that a tyrannical communist government is evil, but I also think that a messianic apocalyptic cult is evil in its own way as well, and yet a PR battle is being waged across the world right now, trying to convince us that we have to pick a side. The last thing either side wants is for people to think for themselves. That is the biggest threat of all.
Oh my god, JJ. Oh my god. Wild. Wild. Absolutely fucking wild. The Chinese government couldn't produce like better propaganda than that. Like they couldn't find a different, like a, you know, a better mic, fucking better. Wild. Wild. Wild.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once...
Okay, here is my conspiracy theory. That was JJ was contacted by Falun Gong, and actually they were relying on him making a video about it because he's well known as a conservative, and he would actually it was actually the old switcheroo. That's my conspiracy theory for you.
Almost lost. Now, the world awaits the divine culture's return. Shen Yun.
traveled all over the world to 50 countries now.
Kind of curious about the any marketing that doesn't talk about the evils of communism, because like that's what the show is. Like the show is about the evils of communism.
And I have never seen a production any better than this anywhere.
Hang on a second. I'm just like very
countries now, and I have never seen.
Okay, Dr. Scott Stansfield. Dr. Scott Stansfield. Wellness advocate and essential oil specialist. Okay, so there's a grifter.
In a production any better than this anywhere.
5-star.
Okay, no, I gotta see that guy again.
And I have never seen a production any better than this anywhere.
5 stars. Jonathan Helmbold? Helmbold? Okay. Jonathan Helmbold. Yep, that's the guy. Interesting. Oh, there's very little about this guy. Is it Helmbold or is it Heimbold? No, it was Helmbold. Alright, let's carry on.
5-star. I'm blown away. Is it?
Brian Spencer, financial consultant. Yeah.
It's blown away my expectations.
It was just a superior.
Shauna Hubbard, former director of a non-profit organization. Well, we got to see that. Shauna Hubbard. Yep, she's just some like business guru person. Okay.
Your performance that truly could bridge the world through music and dance.
Startling and breathtaking. We haven't had quite an experience like that in all the years that I've lived here.
William Baldwin, actor. And this guy looks conspicuously like Alec Baldwin. So what yep, okay. Yeah, this is yeah, this is Alec Baldwin's brother. What the fuck? This is amazing how Falun Gong are like bringing in like just like whoever the fuck they can find, all of the like most Z-list budget Baldwin brother, exactly, like just it's so good.
So it was special for us.
I think that I learned more in this performance than I actually do in a whole week of school.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god!
The beautiful costumes and people...
I'm sorry, but looking at a trailer for Shen Yun again for like 1 minute is making me like completely believe my own joke, ironic conspiracy theory that JJ McCullough was contacted by Falun Gong, like false flag, because this is just so like...
just float. The choreography is incredible, and the storyline.
Gail Kalp Jackson, beauty queen.
Beautiful.
We've been to almost every show in Las Vegas, and I think this is so unique.
She's just a bartender. That's like her. Sorry, there's nothing wrong with being a bartender. It was just because of the list of people we had. Nick Dana, vice president of sales and marketing.
And this is definitely one of our favorites so far.
Very uplifting. Very.
Nick Fantides, physician, chief medical officer, San Diego County. Oh my god.
Relaxing. My blood pressure went down during the show. It was very soothing.
He saw the wave of communism coming, and his blood pressure went through the roof. And then Lee Hong-si destroyed it with his superpowers, and his blood pressure washed down, just lowered and washed away. I just don't believe the CCP care this much. Yes, it is shocking. But hey, maybe they fucking did.
When I came here tonight, I felt very dejected.
I check my blood pressure at regular intervals at dance recitals. Yeah, absolutely. Thomas Paino? Oh my god. A chemist with the US FDA. Oh my god.
About the human race, about everything going on in this world. And during the performance, I just felt now there is hope for each of us individually, as well as for all of us collectively.
Shen Yun was more breathtaking, more heart-wrenchingly beautiful, more amazing than I had expected. It's very difficult to put into words, actually. You just have to come see it.
So I don't think Shen Yun brings you into the cult. To be clear, I think that Shen Yun probably is just how the cult makes a lot of money. I think they don't pay their dancers because they're all in the cult. They spend a fair amount of money on advertising through various, ways, such as YouTube. And then they want people to come see the show. Which, again, why the fuck did Philly D's segment end with just go see the show for yourself? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, seriously. Like, that's not okay, actually. That's not alright. That's not alright. I'm genuinely quite annoyed about that. Like, why did they... God. Okay.
The only way to find out for yourself is to give them money.
The only way to find out for yourself is to give them money. I'm not going to watch this half an hour long video by Illuminati. Although I've heard of them before, they seem cool. So, I've heard of them before. I haven't watched videos before, so don't give me any grief if they aren't. But if that's something people want to watch, there you go. Fucking hell, what a wild time. I guess I'm gonna wrap things up now. Please, if you've been enjoying the stream, consider paying for the stream. Subscribe or cheer or donate directly with command. Tip in chat. Chat's over this side. Tip in chat and give me some money because I need it to live. And I guess we'll go raid. We'll go raid now. Thanks you all for hanging out. I play Pathologic at the moment, and I'll be playing it tomorrow. So if you want to come watch me play Pathologic tomorrow, it'll be 7 p.m. GMT. I don't know how that converts to anybody else's time zone, so just look it up. 7 p.m. GMT for 4 hours. I'll play Pathologic tomorrow. I am kind of in the middle of things, so like if you care about spoilers, there's that. But like, I think it's a fun time. Yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed the stream, consider paying for the stream. Charlie T, thank you for cheering 100 bits. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Giving Sophie money, that's based. Not giving Sophie money, nah, that's cringe. So, we're gonna raid someone like a mock tsunami? You fucking know we are, exactly. Tickets for Denver are over $120. Exactly! Yes, exactly, that's how they're making the money, right? Like, that's literally it. That they just want people to go see the show, which is why I'm very suspicious of Philly D's thing. Now the problem is that if JJ McCullough's thing, shit, I'm getting bogged down in the conspiracy again. The problem is if they were false flagging JJ McCullough, he still made a video that was very negative on. He was much more genuinely good. Thank you, Pago Drink. Was much more genuinely good journalism than Philly D's thing. Philly D's thing, I'm extending the conspiracy theory here. If Philly D's thing was paid for by Falun Gong, by Shen Yun, right? Then that's like, that one makes sense because it literally, the segment just ends with, the truth is at a Shen Yun performance. Go see Shen Yun. That's like, that's wild. All right, let's go right into Nicole. Everybody be nice to Nicole, please. She's been having a hard time, same as me recently, with some just weirdos online. Men being shit to her. So go be nice and say hi from me. And come back tomorrow to watch me play Pathologic, and we'll have a sweet, fun time getting stressed out about the plague together. Okay, good night, everybody.